The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I've not plugged my computer in.
What are you like?
Got everything set up. That's the thing with this. You've got to set everything up.
Yeah.
And then...
Plugs and jacks and all that.
Yeah. Got so many leads. Right, there we go.
There it is.
There we go. Welcome, Late Night Alternative. I'm Iain Lee. Catherine Boyle's over there.
Hello.
This is Talk Radio. You're listening on DAB, Apple, maybe even online at talkradio.co.uk. Just played that song on a whim. I have no idea why, but it's given me our first phone-in first two topics tonight. By the way, you can call in about absolutely anything you want. 0344 499 1000. Skype is open. You can Skype Late Night Alternative. But you hear that last verse? The Kinks were really having fun. Did you hear? Just listen.
Were they having fun or were they fighting?
No, I think it was fun then.
Right.
Listen to the Kinks in the background here. They're enjoying themselves. They're going to start screaming with uncontrolled glee. Ready? Here we go. There's a few of them. There's one. From the west to the east. There's another. From the rich to the poor. There it is. songs where bands are clearly enjoying themselves more than they should be. 0344 499 1000. And also, you know there's an F-bomb in Hey Jude. We've done the F-bomb in Hey Jude before. Okay. But songs where bands are clearly enjoying themselves more than they should be. You don't get that now in the digital age. You don't get that. You'd wipe out all of the cheers and the raucousness.
Would you include that, like the party thing at the beginning of Marvin Gaye, Gotta Give It Up?
Gotta Give It Up. What's that?
If you look it up,
Well,
there's
what song is
like
it? I
having
don't
a
know what it
party. I used to go out to bar. And all the way through the beginning of it.
Yeah.
It's like they're in a party. You can hear people having a good time.
Songs where the performers, the groups are having a good time. And also, songs... this used to happen a lot in the 60s. So many Beach Boys records. Songs where you can hear the band talking during the recording. Because they'd be stood in there, like, doing their vocals. And then when the instrumental things go, there's a Beach Boys song. And I can't think what it is. Where they're talking about a girl, but they're actually. Did you see that girl last night? So they're talking about a girl,
and it's not a thing. It's not a
no,
thing.
no. It's not a thing. There's let me try and find. Why is my library on my iTunes gone to cock? It's gone to cock. That's not what. Why does it look funny?
Did you set the settings to go to cock?
Something has. Hang on a minute. Something has changed on the settings on my iTunes, which is gonna, it's gonna frustrate me, guys, but it's gonna frustrate you more because show column browser. There we go. We're back in. There's on Daydream Believer by the Monkees. There's the spoken bit at the beginning, but there's a bit in one of the verses. Okay, as we see if we can find this. Hang on a second. 7A. So ignore this.
What number is this, Chip?
Right.
7A. Okay, no, I mean, don't
in the
get
instrumental,
excited,
I think.
It's because I'm short, I know.
No, it's not there.
I heard a random click of a finger.
There's a click of the finger. That's David Jones just warming up. But there's a bit... Hang on, here we go. It's in the instrumental, I'm sure of it. Here we go. Hang on. Here we go. Here it comes. Here it comes. Got to listen really carefully, guys. Oh, come on, David. Here it comes. Here it comes. He's been building up. What a great song. What a great song. It's only Tuesday. Here we go. Listen. You can't hear it very well on that version. You want the mono
what's
version.
going on?
They're just talking. You want the mono version. Anyway, so songs where bands are enjoying themselves too much, and also songs where you can hear people talking in the background that perhaps you shouldn't hear. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can also give us a call with absolutely anything you want. It really is that kind of slack-jawed, ill-prepared, lazy show. I tell you the thing that's annoying me at the moment is that everybody seems to be falling for Anne Widdecombe as a cuddly old woman when she's not. She's a horrible, homophobic, transphobic, bigoted old anti-women's rights, anti-pro-choice. She's just an horrendous old fig. And everyone in the Big Brother house, whether she wins or not, she will be the winner. Because everybody's going, oh, she's lovely. And what we've done is we've humanised someone who has the most abhorrent views out there.
That really made me choke on my chips was when Ashley, who seems like a reasonably, she's got her head screwed on, apart from that whole thing with Genuine, which was weird.
Yeah.
Said to her, I've realised that the times when we've disagreed, it's been because I've misunderstood you.
No, it's not. It's because she hates gays, she hates abortion, she hates trans, she hates bisexual, oh God, her views are abhorrent. And everybody's watching it and going, oh, she's so lovely. She's just an old, cute old lady. Not one of my proudest moments, but was having a discussion on a television programme with Anne Widdecombe and someone else who I can't remember who it was. And we were talking about food banks. And this woman and Anne Widdecombe were both of the opinion that the only reason people use food banks is because food banks exist. And if we didn't have food banks, then people wouldn't need to use them and they wouldn't be so popular and all of this. And I said, well, yeah, hang on. I've done phoning shows where people are phoning me up telling me they can't afford to feed their kids and themselves, so they skip meals so their kids can eat. No, this is rubbish. And so I must confess, partly because the video is out there, I told Anne to it wasn't F off, it was F. I think it was F you. F you then. And F you then. And it wasn't my proudest moment. It wasn't my greatest thing. But I have always said I would have so much more respect for politicians if they swore a little bit and went, oh, for F's sake, what a load of old crap you're spouting. And so I've seen through Anne Widdecombe for a long, long time, guys. And it looks like the suckers in the Big Brother house and the Channel 5 viewers are buying into this whole thing of her being a cute, wholesome, lovely little lady. And she's not. She's a miserable old sourpuss who is given far too much time, attention and money to appear on mainstream television programmes when she should be resigned to the bins, the history bins, because her attitudes are appalling. Absolutely appalling.
Oh, they say, but she's from a different time. She's an old lady now. Hang on a minute. She's about the same age as Donald Trump.
Oh, well.
Do we cut him any slack?
Well, yes, we made him president of the
I never.
We made him president of the United States of America by it because we voted for our president. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You're more than welcome to. The phone lines are empty. Literally, no one's calling in. So that says to me two things. It says to me the phones are broken, or we're just not giving the people what they want, and we need to work harder. Guys, I'm going to bare my guts to you this evening. Not in an offensive way. That would be inappropriate. We've got plenty to talk about. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio. I'm Iain Lee. Thank you.
Kick off your slippers. Don't go to bed. The party is just starting. You can sleep when you're dead. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Bands enjoying themselves too much on record. Songs where you can hear the artists whispering in the background, and anything else you fancy. This is the kind of nonsense we've just come in with, but you can call in about anything. Good evening, Ricardo.
How are you, Iain? You okay?
I'm hot. It's very hot in here today, but I'm all right. I was up early. I had a nice day filming for Good Morning Britain. A very nice day, but then we finished early, so I got home about 3:30, so I could have a little kip for a couple of hours. It was a bonus.
Oh, get in
there, bonus kips. It really, I wasn't expecting it, and it was a delight.
How about Kath? What's she been up to?
Let's ask her, shall we, Kath?
I was unconscious all day. Winner.
There you go.
Well, what has Kath been? What, on meths or something?
Were you on meths or something?
Oh, are you asking me?
Yes.
You're talking about me?
Go on.
No, I was really tired, so I dropped my daughter off at school today, and then I got back into bed, and I didn't get out again till I had to. It was great.
What about you, Ricardo? What you been up to today, mate?
Well, you can ask what I've been up to.
Yes.
Well, actually, you just have. Yeah, I've had a lovely day, thank you very much. It's been quite bright outside.
It's been a lovely day, but the weather's been stunning today.
Seriously, it's been quite nice.
It's been great, isn't it?
I had an African Uber driver. She was a lovely woman. It was a woman, by the way.
Yes, and an African, apparently.
She dropped me off in the centre of town.
Yes. I'm not sure why we need to know she was an African, but yes.
Come on, I'm trying to put some context onto this.
Okay.
But she was just like,
relevant
you know
context.
what? Hello?
Hello?
But she... Yeah.
Yes.
But she was... she was saying what a lovely day it is.
And when she was an African? And those Africans, they really do know what lovely days are. So for her to say it, that's like a double thumbs up.
I think it was more the fact. Let's be honest now. Let's not be skittish.
Okay. Yes.
It was more that she was like, well, it's not windy or rainy. And I was like, yeah, I completely concur with you there.
Yes. Well, again, these Africans, they really do know their wind and rain. And if she's not spotting wind or rain, then it's a wind or rain-free zone.
It sounds like she had all the weather chat.
Kath, she was a weather girl. The Weather Girls, I think, done a song in the 80s.
I don't think they were African.
It wasn't raining and it wasn't raining men today. That's not relevant.
When they say raining men, do they mean literally men are falling out of the sky, or do they mean seamen?
Neither. I thought it just meant that they were beating them off with a proverbial stick.
The Weather Girls beat men off? Wow. Ricardo, why did you call in?
Oh, I don't know. I was a bit bored.
OK, me too. Thanks for calling, man. Ta-ta. 03444991000 is the telephone number. Can I tell you a funny story?
I wish you would.
This is great. You know Gino D'Acampo?
Of course.
I love Gino D'Acampo. He's the fella. He's the Paul Young fella, yeah.
Yeah, he's a cheeky little thing.
He robbed Gino D'Acampo. Famously robbed Paul Young's house. So this is a fact. Famously
nicked his guitar, didn't he?
Yeah, years and years ago. I think he's made his amends. Good for I just find that such an interesting celebrity twist. But everyone's entitled to. So anyway, this is great. Right, he's got a really nice house here. Where's this house? Just in case Paul Young's listening and wants revenge. No, I don't know. Anyway, it's a really nice, really expensive townhouse. Beautiful, beautiful house. And there's an alleyway down the side of it. You seen the story?
Yes.
This is great, man. This is great. TV chef, and for most of it, you're going, yeah, okay. I've got, and then we get to we get about halfway through it, and you go, oh, hang on a minute, right? TV chef Gino D'Acampo is worried for the safety of his family after a stranger followed his wife and young daughter into their home.
Into their home?
Yeah. Gino and his wife are trying to... So basically, it's this house. It's a really lovely townhouse, but it hasn't got a front garden or anything, so it opens up onto the street. You shouldn't have known that when you bought it. Gino and his wife are trying to close a footpath next to their £1.25 million home, claiming he and his family are being harassed by fans. So there's the house, beautiful townhouse, opens out on the street, and as you look at it to the right, there's a footpath that goes down, and then there's estate agents and some shops. Right? Jessie, I'm assuming that's his wife, 44, recalled returning home and turning to close the door, only to find a stranger in their hallway standing by their 5-year-old daughter Mia. That's horrendous.
Good grief.
Yeah, that is horrendous, right? That is that is out of order. Right? She said, I just want my family to feel safe. I often get abused in the driveway.
Who does, Jessie or him?
Jessie. There is no driveway there that I can see. Maybe I'm missing something. I often get abused in the driveway, and it is dangerous for members of the public to treat the driveway as a public space. Maybe she means... No, she doesn't. She said in a letter to Broxborough Borough Council. In their application, Jessie says she's monitored... Oh, right, so she means that pathway, then.
She's calling it her driveway.
It's dangerous for members of the public to treat the driveway as a public space. Huh? In their application, Jessie says she has monitored the public's use of the driveway and believes most office workers could take another report. Another route, sorry. Right, so the entrance, I think, is on the driveway. No, I don't know, the entrance... This is confusing. The cook from ITV's This Morning, who won I'm a Celebrity in 2009, says he and his family are fed up with people knocking on their door asking for pictures. But that's tough. That's... You should do what I do and wear a hat when you go into your house. But the pathway next to the Grade 2 listed home provides access to a GP surgery. I'm very confused. I can't see where this driveway is supposed to be. Anyway, Gino, 41, insists closure of the walkway in Hoddesdon, Hertfordshire, which leads onto the High Street, is for the safety of his family. Gino and Jessie, who also have 2 boys, Rocco and Luciano, bought the townhouse in 2016. So far you're thinking... OK, fine, fair enough. Someone's gone into their house and they want this. OK, fair enough. All right. Then there's this paragraph. There is a ramp at the end of the driveway for wheelchair access, which slopes down to the Limes GP surgery. But if the path closed, wheelchair users would have to travel 4 times as far to reach the practice. Nah, chuck it out. Chuck it out. That's the end of that, fella. Nice try. Bold move. You can't. Yeah, but wheelchair users going to doctor's surgery, it would be 4 times. Nah, you forget it. Forget it, Gino.
This is just a variation on the I've moved next to a church and now I don't like people going into the church next door to my house and I don't like the bells.
I don't want to be totally inappropriate. Go on Google Maps and find the Limes surgery in Hoddesdon, and then we'll work backwards. The D'Acampo's application has had 15 responses, with 14 objecting to the proposal to close the walkway. One was from the Limes surgery practice manager, Christine Price, who said... And she's absolutely right. The cheek of this guy. She said, many of our patients are elderly, and the longer walk around to the Limes would have an effect both on them and the surgery. Nikki Hillier of Penn Underwriting said this is the only disabled access to the offices and surgery in Limes Court.
Well, that's the end of that.
That is brilliant.
Right, I've got
Fair play. He really is having a laugh there.
When you're buying somewhere, you look at all this stuff, don't you?
Totally. You look at it and you go, well, OK, I like it, but there's a pathway down there. We'll have to compromise a little bit. Is it worth the compromise? It's a nice house. I think we can live with the You know that you're a famous guy, Gino, and people are going to recognise you. Yeah, I get that.
How do I get from the car to the house? How do I get the kids into the... how do I get the shopping in? All that stuff.
Yeah.
That's buying a house first question, isn't it?
Get it up. Let's find it on...
I've got the surgery right here. You can have a little shufty.
All right, so there's the Limes. How do we work... How do I do Google Maps?
Right.
Hang on. How do I don't know what I do to move on here. Is there a joystick? We're going to turn around. Oh, I've never used Google Maps before. What am I doing? Here we go. How do we get out? Where's the walkway? Oh! Where have I gone? You do it.
Here, let me see.
I don't know what happened there. I've never used Google Maps before.
Turns out.
Imagine that. Where are all the phone calls? What am I... Well, no, hang on a minute. Listen to the arrogance of me. I nearly turned into Richard Spendlove then. Totally turned into Richard Spendlove. People don't want to phone in. That's fine. That's their business. That's your business. You don't want to phone in.
Maybe they're all behind Gino.
Yeah, there could be. But that's your business. You don't want to phone in. I shouldn't expect phone calls. If you don't want to phone in, you don't want to phone in. Fine. That's my problem. As I say, the shows where we get loads of calls, I do those for free. The ones where no one phones in, those are the ones that I get paid for, because that's when I'm working my hardest. Paul's decided to brave the boycott and pick up the phone. Evening, Scab. What have you got for us, Paul?
Well, it's that Gino D'Acampo. He should have figured it out, but is it close enough to Paul Young's house? That's the problem.
Well, this is the thing. I think Paul Young lives in Hertfordshire, doesn't he? Live around that way? Hang on.
Right, I'm guessing that's the thing.
Right, but that's not Google Earth. That's just a map.
I'll click on it now.
OK. I don't understand how... I want to do Google Earth, and it's just not letting me do it. I don't... Right, so that's the house. So can we face the house front on? I want to see the alleyway.
It's there.
Right, but I want to see it. Turn. Oh, even I'm losing the will to live now. Bloody hell. Right, go up it. This is right, Paul. You are listening to two idiots...
One.
Using Google... Thank you, Catherine. Using Google Maps.
It's thrilling radio.
Oh, man alive. Maybe tonight is going to be one of those shows where it doesn't work. It happens. Well. Happens about 2 out of every 5 for me at the moment, but I'm sure I can... I'm sure I can turn those odds around. Anything else, Paul?
Well, yeah, I was ringing up about weird things in songs where you can hear people talking. And whatnot.
Yeah, go on.
I'm about to ruin Florence and the Machine's Shake It Out for you.
OK, fine. I do like Florence and the Machine. I think she's one of the most talented pop performers we have at the moment. But
she's amazing.
Yeah.
But at 2 minutes 59 seconds in that song, you can hear her coughing like an old woman who smokes 60 a day.
No.
You do, honestly.
Hang on a minute. Let me spend 10 minutes typing out something on a keyboard while we try. Hang on, what song is it?
Florence and the Machine, Shake It Out.
Shake It Out. Florence and the Machine. Where are we going? 2 minutes 20?
2 minutes 59.
2 minutes 59. All right, hang on a minute. We're going to skip past this, and we're going to find it. And here we go. 2 minutes.
You won't let me go down the path.
All right, let's forget that. I think that's
Gino must be running Google.
Here we go. Are you doing? There's a cough in there.
Yeah, there is.
Is it a cough? It's not a breath.
No, it's a massive cough.
Here you go, listen. There.
It's a breath.
That's not a breath. No one breathes like that unless they're dying of emphysema. Here we go. Listen.
Ruined.
That. Either that or she's chomping on an apple.
Either one.
It's one of the two. Paul, thank you very much for that. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Whispering lunar incantations for cross-parents, cross-dressers,
Did you know this about me?
and cross-rail workers.
Steel and polycarbonate.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
I've got a very poor internet connection.
on Talk Radio.
Rightio, let's go to John in New York City. Good evening, John.
Why, good evening again, Ian. And you wanted somebody to call up and take your side against Gino? You got one.
Well, you know, it sounds like... Go on.
He may be the third best thing on Celebrity Juice after Holly's boobies, but the truth of it is, he can't pull this, I no speak English and didn't understand this was a public footpath like he would do on TV.
Yes.
And that's what I feel like he's trying to pull here.
It just, I like Gino D'Acampo. I think I may have even shook his hand at some point. I think he's a funny guy. But come on, guys, you can't try and close a footpath down just because it's next door to your house.
I mean, even if take the whole elderly people thing out of play.
Yes.
Just while you were talking, I looked on Google and looked at several articles, and no, you had to know that this wasn't going to be possible when you bought the house. You had to think you were a celebrity and were going to muscle in and get your way after you got there.
We should build another footpath on the other side of his house just to double annoy him. I think that's what we should do. That's the only way around this, John.
Oh, that would be great. I'll help you to go dig it out.
Nice one, man. Let's go and do it. John, thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We're building up to a vibe. I think it's going to be an adequate show. We can do adequate shows. They can't all be absolutely blinding, can they? Let's go to Liam. Good evening, Liam.
Ian, what about you? How's things? Hey, Catherine.
Hiya.
Hey, Liam. Liam from Belfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
It's the man himself. How you doing, fella? You all right?
I'm great, mate. Yeah, this is. I thought I'd give you a wee ring because you're a bit thin on calls.
Yeah, it would. Well, you know, and listen, that can only be my fault because it's my job to drum up business, and maybe I'm just not creating. You know, they can't all be gold. Liam, it'll still be a good show, still better than anything else that's on the radio right now.
Well, you're right there, man. Totally. Here, I've got a weird thing in a song for you.
Yeah, go on.
It's "Give Me Shelter" by the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
And there's a girl. I think it's about halfway through, and the girl sings "Rape, Murder," and her voice cracks, and you can hear Mick Jagger in the background going, "Woo, yeah!"
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
I mean, that's an inappropriate "whoa, yeah." If ever there was one.
Yeah.
How far into it? Do you know?
I'd say about midway, Ian. I'm not 100%.
All right, we're gonna go about midway. I have a very low tolerance threshold for the Stones, so
yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is halfway.
that, Ian?
Go back. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
They're just so tedious.
I think you made it, just missed it.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, for God's sakes, man!
Sorry, Ian.
Jeez!
Ian, I've let you down twice in 1 week. I didn't know the words to that Four of Us song, and now this.
No, well, these things happen, but I've listened. That's
but
more.
Here, can I just say how much I enjoyed the Rabbit Hole on Sunday night? It was brilliant.
For those who were too lazy to come or watch us, Liam was there. Liam was, I'm going to say it, the star of the show.
Yeah.
We got him up on stage to sing a song by probably the greatest Irish rock band of all time, the Four of Us. And he came up and he allowed us to troll him. We trolled him live on stage.
Oh, yeah, totally did.
And his sister Siobhan very happily allowed him to do that.
Oh, she's filmed it and she showed it to everybody. I can't look at it.
Good. No. It's these. I can't look at anything. I filmed something today. This thing I was filming, and they showed it to me. I said, I don't want to see that. Why would I want to see that? Are you happy with it? Yep, good, fine. I've got no. Then we had some new pictures taken for here, right? And they sent me the person in charge of it sent me like their favourite. Sent me 8 photos. And said, I've marked my favourites. You tell me which ones are your favourites. Oh, Jesus, I was the most awful 3 minutes of my life looking at those pictures, going, well, that one, that one I look like a knob. That one I look like a paedophile. That one I don't look like a sex offender, so I guess that one's all right. It was horrendous. I was like, why would you do that to someone?
I know. I haven't watched the Periscope footage yet, but apparently somebody wrote, and this is really hurtful, he looks like an Irish James Corden, which
Well, when you first came in, I thought you were Stephen Nolan.
Oh, Ian, I'm turning over the LBC.
Thank you very much, Liam. He was a very good sport on Sunday in Belfast and Dublin before that. And so we'll go back to... we'll go back when they've paid us, because they've not paid us yet. So
We've discovered what the key is to charming the Belfast crowd.
Yes.
Alcohol and lots of singing.
Lots of singing. There was a lot of singing going on. I think when we go back next time, as I say, instead of doing, a well thought out, well crafted piece of theatre, we're just going to do a Diamond and Cher. What's Cher's last name?
None of your business.
Oh,
Bono, innit?
Well, no.
Sarkeesian it was.
Then it would have been Bono. And then I guess she got rid of the Bono. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Black cats are out of fashion. You seen this?
I don't understand that, but it's always been the case, hasn't it?
No.
Yeah, because I remember going, like, when I was sent on RSPCA visits with
Hang on. Well, let's get the story first.
They've never been popular.
No, they have. You're right. Never been popular. But you go to rescue homes. Black cats are always there. I
think they're
got
beautiful.
A black cat. Black cats are being abandoned as they don't look good in owners' selfies. Mm-hmm. One rescue centre revealed all its 40 moggies are black. They used to be hard to rehome because of their association with witchcraft. Aren't people stupid? People are dumb, man. But Christine Baker, 67, founder of the Moggery in Bristol, says these days it is because they don't look good in social media posts. Christine said it's worse now because black cats don't show up in selfies. What kind of madness is this? Who's talking this rubbish? It's an increasing problem. It's definitely got harder because of selfies.
No.
Isn't it funny? My boys will talk about selfies now, while I will still talk about taking a picture. Should we get a picture? Should we take a picture? and I will still offer my phone to someone. Or a camera, could you take a picture of us, please? Whereas, my boys, it's selfies. Can we get selfies? Should we get selfies? Do you think anyone will want, my youngest is keep saying, do you think when we go out, anyone will want selfies with you, Daddy? I don't know. Amy Buckle of the Last Chance Animal Rescue Centre in New Romney, Kent, said, we have difficulty rehoming black cats.
Wow.
People do seem caught up in taking photos and putting them on Facebook and Instagram. They want a model animal they can put on social media. It does leave black cats ignored.
What's her rescue centre called?
Last Chance.
Wow.
Yep.
Like Death's Door.
Yeah. It seems people find them boring. Now I don't live in the same place as my cat. I miss my cat. I can't have a cat where I am, and I miss my cat. But then when I go back, she's not missed me, actually, so it's fine. The RSPCA confirmed more black and white cats come into care than any other colour. The charity's Dr. Jane Tyson added fur colour makes no difference to how much love they have to give. You, of course, would love a cat.
I would.
But you're not allowed to.
I'll get one day.
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
And when I do...
I just think you get one when your husband's out.
I think he'd notice.
No, you can hide them. Never forget when I got Velvet, which was, God, she's going to be 19, so I got her 17 years ago. And I was with a girlfriend then, and we sort of talked about getting a cat, and it was on the telly, and it was we were renting this amazing house, God, Tatford Towers, one of the nicest places I've ever lived in. And lovely townhouse in Highgate that used to be owned by Crispian Mills of Cooler Shaker. Just the most incredible place I've ever lived in. And I went and got Velvet, and I hadn't told her that I was definitely going to do it. And she came back, and she just sensed that something was. She just looked at me and said, "Have we got a cat now?" I went, "Yeah, we have." And it was the most amazing thing. And the cat went and hid. For literally a week, just hid behind this where I stacked my CDs.
And how small was she then?
Oh, she was 2 years old, so she was like quite big.
Right.
She was a bit of a belly on her, but she wouldn't come and sit with us, and because she was quite shy, because she'd been with another cat who was a bit of a bully, and they were getting rid of her because it was a really nice family. It was a pub in not Old Street, somewhere. Anyway, and they were about to have a baby, and they just, so I got this. So, but I would sit there watching the TV. And after a week, I'd look down, she's out of the corner of my eye, Velvet would be sat on the floor next to my feet, and I'd look at her, and she'd look at me, and she'd run off. And then, after that, bishy, bashy, boshy. 03444991000, Yasmin, Sarah, Steve, stay there, come to you after this.
Closing time conversation for tax inspectors, taxi drivers, and taxidermists. Great big talk for the wee small hours.
You've been trolling me big time, mate.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Of course, what idiot is asking if you can take electric cars into car washes? I mean, really, guys. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think your dad would like the croque monsieur. Let's go to Yasmin. Good evening, Yasmin.
Hello, Ian. Hello, Kath.
Hiya.
Hey, Yasmin, what you got for us?
Hi. I was calling up about songs where you hear stuff that you're not meant to hear.
Yeah, go on.
So in Tender by Blur,
yes,
Damon Albarn gets a little bit wrong. So he thinks that it's going into a verse, but it's in fact going into a bridge.
Oh.
It sounds really tedious now I'm saying it out loud.
No, it's
really
great.
Boring.
You know, one of the greatest mistakes in pop music is what's that Mamas and Papas wrong song? Where they muff it up.
Monday.
No, not Monday.
No,
Monday.
I saw her again.
I saw her again last night, where they go into the one of them goes into the chorus too quickly, goes into it like a whole bit early, and it's a full. I saw her again, and it's brilliant. And Paul McCartney asked them if it was a mistake or not, and they went, it was a mistake, and they said he said it was genius. The best thing you could have done was keep it in, and it sounds like this is the same thing on the Blur record.
Well, it's kind of like, so you can hear it as if he's going to say tender, but obviously he's not meant to. I think it's at 4 minutes 1 second.
I want more. This is now everything is recorded digitally.
Yeah.
You can just punch in, punch out. You can remove things. Everything is a sound wave. It's ones and zeros. You can take it out. You can play it back. You can do all of these things, and they don't allow mistakes in records anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I want mistakes in records. I want to know that my heroes are perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, I do agree with you, yeah.
Thank you, Yasmin.
You're welcome, Ian.
Cheers, my dears. Ta-ta. Let's go to Stephen. Good evening, Stephen.
Hi.
Hey, Stephen.
I'm going to talk about something about cats, if that's all right. I've got a lovely black cat called Blackie.
Yep.
And she's got big saucer.
Have you got your radio on or Periscope on?
Oh, radio on, sorry.
Turn it off, you muppet.
Turn it, 2 seconds and I'm in bed, hang on.
Oh, a sexy call from Stephen. Yep. Oh, jeez.
Sorry about that, Ian. I've got it turned out right off now.
Good lad. Go on. So you got a cat called Blackie?
Yeah, she's got massive, big, saucer green eyes.
Yep.
And when she goes out and she comes in on a night, all I see is a pair of green eyes at the middle.
Isn't it, though? But this has always been the way. Black cats have always been the least popular of cats because we're a racist country. That is why.
Oh, my cat's great. I love her to bits. Just before I go, can I just mention about my poor cousin? She's having a lot of problems at the minute.
Yeah.
Because she's quite a big girl, right? She's about a size 26.
Oh.
And she's been on a couple of dates and she's getting people, like, scoffing her all the time, calling her fatty and, like, ugly. And she's not ugly because she's got lovely young blonde hair, blue eyes. But she gets put down because she's about a size 26.
Well, hang on. Well, when she just goes out shopping and stuff?
No, when she goes out to bars with her friends and that, like guys call her fatty and they can call her beach whale and that, and it's really
hang on a minute.
Like, hurtful for her.
What, to her face?
Yeah. Say, God, you're fat, you need to lose a weight, you're massive.
What's
wrong with people?
That's incredible. The rudeness of people.
Honestly, she'll come home crying last week.
I bet she will.
She came home crying last week, and obviously I was round her, like my aunties and that, and I was talking to her, and she said, she gets called regular horrible names outside because of her size, and it's terrible. Honestly, Ian, if I could get her to send me a picture, she's really bonny looking, she's got lovely long blonde hair, blue eyes, and she gets called fatty beach whale, or the killer whale.
The meanness of the minority of people never ceases to amaze me. Just how rude some people can be.
It's just rotten to say on another burger. They come up and say on another burger and stuff because they think because she's got what do you call that thing with the thyroid thing?
Overactive thyroids.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
She's got that, you see, and that's why she's like quite large. But people assume she eats lots of food. She hardly doesn't eat anything. It's terrible.
I wish her the very best. People can be arseholes sometimes.
Yeah.
Nice one, Stephen.
I'll let her know I spoke to you on the phone, Ian. Thanks.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, my dears. Let's go to Sarah. Evening, Sarah.
Hiya. Hi, Kath. Hi, Ian.
Yes.
Cat lady here.
Yes.
Cats are brilliant. But I've got a black cat, and she is perfect in every single way you cannot imagine. She's on my lap now in bed. And
cats are the best. Beautiful. Listen, I've got a cat and I've got a dog, and I don't live with them anymore. But and I've had rabbits and I've had fish and I've had all that.
Have you ever had dagoos?
What?
Dagoos.
What the hell is a dago?
They sell them in pet shops. They're like little bigger than a hamster.
Right, bigger than
a chinchilla. Google it. Honestly, they are such good pets. I had a couple of those.
How are you spelling dagoos?
D-E-G-U.
Dago. It's just a rat.
It's not a rat.
Well, it looks just like a rat. That's all it is.
It's like a squirrel with...
No, it's not like... It's nothing like a squirrel.
No?
It's like a... Well, in one of the pictures, when it's standing on its back legs, it looks like a tiny kangaroo.
It does look like a
but no, I don't agree with these silly foreign pets. Let's have a good old-fashioned British black cat. That's what we need. It's the best pet you could ever have.
You cannot beat a cat. Well, I work in a cattery as a volunteer. It's one in London. I won't tell you what it's called, but it's in Battersea.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. And
think we might have a clue then.
Yes.
And, we've got, like, a problem where black cats are a lot harder to home. Always has been the case.
Yeah.
Has been for years and years and years, and it's so sad.
Well, of course, what you could do there is get some white paint and paint a white stripe down its back, and it could be you could sell it as a skunk, or palm it off to Pepe Le Pew, who'd have the horn for it. Do you remember that? That was all. Pepe Le Pew was always falling in love with male cats.
Yeah, but don't you think that was a bit creepy for kids to watch?
Yeah, it was. It was rapey. It was classic rape bants.
It was awful. I still remember that, and it creeps me out just thinking about it.
I think most of the people say the kids' TV programs now are rubbish. I think most of the stuff that we watched as kids was promoting rape and racism. Genuinely, a lot of that stuff. It's like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. The black lady in it, Thomas. The big old black lady that was like the maid in the house, Thomas.
So I really like Thomas the Tank Engine, but I don't think it was rapey or racist.
I don't think.
Well, maybe you're not watching it properly because apparently we missed something.
I don't. Maybe I'm going to say that it was. I'm going to say that it.
Annie and Clarabelle getting dragged everywhere.
Yeah, there was definitely something wrong with that.
They had the fat controller, and they always took the mickey out of him.
The body shaming.
They don't call him that anymore,
That's
do
awful.
they? In the new one.
No, what is his name now?
Sir Topham Hatt.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, the thing is, but the new because the franchise was sold, wasn't it, to the Americans, and so the Americans they make what they do with all American things. They make it
it's
crap.
rubbish now. It's so rubbish.
Sarah, thanks for calling.
Bye bye.
Ta-ta. Was she eating? I think she was eating at that point. Is it tonight? We got that bloody moon. The moon.
Is that what it's called, the bloody moon?
Oh, jeez. Everyone's got a little stiffy about this moon that's going on. It's the moon. Oh, it's the bloody moon, like you've never bloody seen it before. You won't believe your eyes. What's the best time to see it? Night time. Where's the best place to see it? The sky. You know, one of the researchers working for maybe Paul Ross's show, I don't know. When we come in, right, 3 weeks ago, when we come into work, there'd be no one here in the talk radio stuff. The people in talk sport, no one in talk radio. We could come in, we could put our feet up, we own the manor, me and Kath, get food in, we could play stupid games, we could have chair fights, and we could watch telly really loudly.
The way we like it.
Yeah. Now we come in, there's like kids working and booking guests for other shows and stuff like that. And so because we're nice, you've got to be... Well, there's never a spare space to sit down, and I had a bit of a hissy fit, because all the computers were open, but I knew that most people had gone home, and there were coats everywhere. And Kath was on one end of the room, and I was at the other, and there were these two kids. And I just went, right, OK, this is bloody ridiculous. Kath, come and sit here. Someone went, oh, yeah, Mark's on that. I said, tough, Mark's not here. Mark can go on another computer. I'm sitting next to my producer.
Because I like to annoy her.
Yeah, it was just annoying. But we're also respectful, and we don't put the telly on as early as we do.
No.
And then we put it on at 9 o'clock, and I make a big thing of saying, right, Kath, we'll put Big Brother on in a few minutes so that we can watch it and talk about it on the show, because I don't want anyone to say, oh, you've got it too loud, can you turn it down, please? I'm trying to book guests.
Besides which, it was over the roar of the football.
Yeah.
2 different football matches in 2 corners of the other room, and yet...
But so the office doesn't feel like we have to. I tell you what we need to do. We need to find another room in this building that we can go and watch TV in, because I was trying to watch the documentary about National Lampoon. Oh, by the way, there's a great movie on Netflix. It's not great, but I really enjoyed it. It's called A Stupid and Pointless Gesture, or maybe it's called A Pointless and Stupid Gesture, and it's about Doug Kenny, I can't remember. Anyway, it's the guy who invented National Lampoon, and obviously you've got your National Lampoon movies with Chevy Chase and what have you, but it's the magazine that predated that, and it's got it's set in the early 70s. It's got it's got Joel McHale playing a young Chevy Chase, and he's got him spot on, and the amount of cocaine that Chevy and this guy, Doug guy, who founded National Lampoon, the amount of cocaine they shovel up their hooters. And I've got to say, as someone with a little bit of experience in whatever, none of your business, the fella who plays this Doug guy, when he's coked up like, to beyond... You know, it can be fun for about 20 minutes, and then after that, I imagine it's a nightmare. And the bit where he's just coked up to the gills and is barely able to speak, it's incredible. You know, because it starts off, it's all glamorous, the drug taking in this movie, and then you see him stumbling into a press conference, and he's talking like that. Jeez, it was incredible. And I think the movie goes some way as well as to explaining why Chevy Chase is such a fruitcake and is such a hard nut to crack. Partly because of the copious amounts of white stuff that is just getting shoveled up their noses. And also, and no spoiler alert here, guys, I'm not going to, but also just because of what happens at the end. I knew nothing about this guy, and then the ending, it's like, oh, blimey, all right, I didn't see that coming. And I think it goes some way to explaining why Chevy Chase is an absolute fruitcake. So I was watching that, and so now I'm falling down a slight National Lampoon rabbit hole, and I don't really like... I think the magazine is a little bit too crass and there's a little bit too many boobs in it. I kind of get it. But I've ordered loads of books about it, of course, and I'm watching this documentary, Drunk, Stoned, Brilliant, Dead, about it. And we've got... Oh, next week, I knew there was a point to this. Next week on Monday at 11, we've got Tony Hendra coming on. Tony Hendra was one of the founders of National Lampoon. Quick point of reference that he invented Spitting Image, and he's also the manager in Spinal Tap. He's coming on, and it's going to be quite interesting. I've been speaking to Danny Baker about him, and he's told me a few things, so that should be interesting. Anyway, 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building. I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
Yes, stick it up your bum. I would spend 7 years in prison for £27 million. I would spend 7 years in prison for £27 million. Of course you would. What other job would you have to work for 7 years and get 27 million quid? Muppets. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. So before we go, we got Simon and Claire. We'll come to you in a bit. So I had a lovely day today, filming some absolutely wonderfully silly, nonsensical bits for Good Morning Britain, where I'm giving away a massive load of money in a car, a really expensive car. And so I spent all day filming that. And then I was reminded that on Saturday I'm filming something for the One Show. There's all this work coming, and Sunday night I'm recording a panel show for Radio 4. Look at me, Ma. And I was... So Saturday I'm filming something for the One Show, and they've asked if they could film a little bit with my mum. And I'm very protective of my mum, but I knew that she would find it quite funny. She'd find it a laugh. And they'll buy us, lunch probably, and they'll film us. Beautiful. So I said, yeah, I'd speak to Mum. Yeah, of course. So I emailed, because she lives in a care home, so I emailed the care home today, and I said, just to let you know, I'm going to come and collect Mum sort of lunchtime on Saturday, and we're going to go and film something for the One Show. I hope that's okay. I think I may have put that, but I have no reason to put that. I sent it to the manager of the care home. And then about an hour later, I got... And what they normally do is they go, all right, we'll make sure she's dressed and she's got a coat on and da-la-la-la. And then an hour later, the PR guy for Leonard Cheshire... Leonard Cheshire is the chain of care homes and stuff. The PR guy for the entire company sent me an email. I thought, why is this guy sending me an email? And it started off with, hey, Ian, may remember me. I worked for another organisation before and we did some stuff together. I do remember him. Irrelevant. I hope you've recovered since the jungle. And I'm thinking, this guy's buttering me up. And then it was something along... Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Here we go. So I don't want to misquote anyone. But pass on the details of the piece that you're filming with your mother at the weekend. I was just wondering if it's a personal piece or something with wider connotations in terms of disability issues. All the best. And I'm thinking, all right. Now, my mum's in the care home because she's got MS, right? And she can't do anything for herself. She can't walk, she can't feed herself, she can't go to the toilet, she can't... So they do everything, right? And she's terribly forgetful, and she quite often, thinks that people that are dead are alive, and I've kind of stopped telling her that my dad's dead and all of that kind of stuff. And sometimes she's sharp as a point, and sometimes you'll have the same conversation 10 times in 10 minutes, and that's fine. But I'm also thinking, this is none of your business, fella. This is literally none of your business. So I've replied, we won't be filming on site. I'll be taking Mum out for a coffee and filming there. And then I did give a little bit more than I needed to. I said, it's a piece about how people fund the care of their relatives. And I sent another message. There isn't a problem, is there? Because he didn't reply. And he replied, could we possibly have a quick chat? And I thought, buddy. So I phoned him up. And I let him do all the talking. I said, all right, what's the problem? Well, I just want to know what this piece is that you're filming. And I went, okay. That's none. It was one of the most uncomfortable conversations I've ever had. And also I'd just woken up, and I was furious as it went on. I got furiouser and furiouser, but I didn't shout at him. I was very measured. I said, right, that's actually none of your business. Okay. When is the piece going to air? Yeah, again, that isn't any of your business, and I'm really starting to get annoyed that you're asking me this stuff. Oh, no, I'm not prying. I just wanted to know what you'd be talking about. I'm not prying. I said, that is the definition of prying. I said, my mum is a resident there. She's not a prisoner. And any conversation I have with her and any filming I do with her is none of your business. And I'm disgusted that you're even asking this conversation. He's going, well, I thought we could have this chat because we've worked together before. And I said, that's irrelevant. I'm not working with you. I'm taking my mum out for a coffee. I said, do you when other family members take the residents out for coffee, do you ask them what they're going to talk about? He said, no, of course not. I said, right. And if other residents were to take, the other family members were to take residents to their place of work, which is what I'm doing, would you ask them what was going to be, if the daughter of someone there was a hairdresser and they took their mum to the hairdressers, would you ask them what they were going to talk about? He said, no, of course I wouldn't. I just wanted to know. I said, listen, I said, I know why you want to know, because you are scared that we are going to say something. And he said, well, no, he brought it up. He said, you have mentioned Leonard Cheshire on your show before, when I did the thing about when I didn't know whether Mum was going to move or not because of the funding. And I said, yeah, everything I said on that show was 100% true. And he said, well, that was before I joined the company. I said, dude, you just brought it up. I did lose my temper a bit then. I think I may have called him dude. I'm trying to remember if I said the phrase, I don't want to be funny, but I think you've dropped a bollock on this one. I may have used that phrase. I'm not sure. Because I don't want to say exactly what the piece is going to be now, because they'll be listening tonight. I know they're listening tonight. So I don't want to say what the piece is going to be, and I don't want to say exactly what we're going to talk about, because it's none of your flipping business whatsoever. And suffice to say, if we had just gone out and had our coffee on Saturday and done it, you wouldn't be mentioned on this show, certainly. And now you're getting mentioned on this show for sticking your beak in to residents' private conversations, what they do outside of the home, right? None of your business. As long as they're not nicking stuff, as long as they're not, bringing... None of your business. Absolutely none of your business. And if my mum thinks your place is a shithole, she's allowed to go on TV and say she thinks it's a shithole. She thinks, that's what she thinks, she's allowed to go on and say that. And if I think you're sticking your beak in to business that is absolutely none of your concern, bearing in mind it costs us about £1,000 a week, which my mum still pays 300 quid, 250 quid a week. The council picks up the rest. You're working for my mum. Not even me, you're working for my mum. How dare you? How dare the manager of the home, when I just put in a simple... I don't even need to tell her I'm taking her out. I don't even need to tell the manager I'm taking her out. The reason I'm doing it is courtesy and manners, so that they know that what is going on. I can just walk in there and say, Mum, do you want to go out? And if she says yes, we go out, right? It was courtesy and manners. So what right has she got then to pass it on to the PR person, who then sends these emails where there's obviously a subtext, there's obviously a vibe about them. And as soon as I got the first one, I thought, this guy's going to drag this out a bit. State in the email what your problem is, right? But it's none of your business. Someone tweeted me, because I tweeted this, because I got really angry. I was really annoyed with this absolute idiot of a bloke. And I'm not mentioning his name, but just the rudeness and the callousness, right? Someone said, when you tweeted the home that you were going to film Mum for the One show, they should have been congratulating her and saying, "Oh, you're going to be on the telly. Well, we'll make sure we all watch that. That'll be a laugh.
We'll find us something smart to wear."
Yeah. Well, that'll be a laugh. And no, they didn't. Instead, they're going behind her back and asking me, "So when you go out with your mum on Saturday, what are you going to talk about? What is it? What is it you're going to talk about?" And it was not said, but what was implied was, "We're worried you're going to say something bad about us." So what if I do, right? What if I do? What if I'm chatting to my mum and something bad comes out? First of all, it's the BBC, so they would have to fact check it, and they would have to give the place a right to reply, and their legal team would look at it, and if there was anything that was untrue, wouldn't get broadcast. It just wouldn't get broadcast, right? The BBC, pretty much any TV company would do that, right? So, but what if we go out and I say, "Mum, This isn't necessarily what the thing's about," and I say, "Mum, you live in a care home. How are you finding it?" "I hate it, and I hate the people there, and I don't like the way it's run, and it costs too much money." What if she said that? What has that got to do with you? I know for a fact there are people in that care home that love bits of it and hate bits of it, as you would do. The same way I hate all of my flat, but the same way I love bits of this job, and I find bits of this job really, really frustrating. That's just what we are as human beings. How dare you try and... I don't know, maybe saying dictate what they're thinking is perhaps a little bit too far, but certainly have a little pry into what is... Basically, me taking my mum to work because I thought she'd get a kick out of it. I thought she would get a kick out of coming out, having a coffee, getting made a fuss of by a TV crew, and we talk a little bit about care homes. Oh, I was furious. I was absolutely furious. I'm angry again now.
Talk about an own goal, though, from a PR point of view.
Yeah.
That is not the action of a company that's secure in the service they're providing, is it? That's a defensive thing.
Totally.
And it makes you wonder, oh, hang on a minute, what am I missing then?
Yeah. And I know stuff that's happened there that I let them get away with. But and now I'm thinking, I'm genuinely thinking, do I cancel it? Because if I take Mum out, does that make her position there slightly weaker? Now, of course, it shouldn't. But supposing in 6 months, a year, they say, right, well, we're going to have to move your mum now. I will be thinking she should be there now until the day she dies, right? Because the council have got, I don't know what it is. It's something like 75% of the fee, and she's paying the rest out of her, but the pension. So a pension comes in, and it's 300 quid a week goes to 200 or 300 quid a week goes to pay for a thing. And blah, blah, blah. So she should be there until the day she dies, right? And that could be 6 months. That could be another 20 years the way she's going. I keep saying to my boys, I think Nanny Linda's going to outlive all of us because, you know, she nearly died twice and she's indestructible, that woman. But if something were to happen and there was a forced move, I would be forever thinking, well, was it the one show? Was it the one show that did that?
I think they're probably less likely to mess with you because of that, and that's the worst thing.
That's something else someone said on Twitter. In all fairness, your mum is probably the best looked after in there because of me.
Because you've got a voice, you know. And also, the other thing that annoys me about that kind of tactic, that kind of leaning tactic,
well,
is that the way they treat everyone?
Yeah.
With suspicion.
She is, right, okay, physically she's incapable of much, and mentally she's a little bit hazy, but she's a prisoner and she pays their wages. I hate that line where I pay your wages, but she does. She has spent, in the time she's been there, she has spent £325,000 of her money. I know, because I've seen it. We sold her house for 250 grand. She had 100 grand saved, and she has spent £325,000 of her money to stay there until she dropped below the £23,000 threshold, whatever it is. And they've got the cheek to send the PR person to because we've worked together before. Don't give me that we've worked together before.
When you said she's a prisoner, did you mean to say that?
What did I say?
You said she's a prisoner and she pays them all that money.
Oh, no, she's a resident. She's a resident, I mean. I was trying to do two thoughts at once. But they are treating her like a prisoner, you know.
They're her landlords.
Yeah, exactly. I'm absolutely fuming. Anyway, got that off my chest. But I'll let you know how it goes. I suspect I'll get another phone call tomorrow. It was a really awkward phone call, right? Really awkward. I'll tell you what was great. Is I'd just woken up, so I was a bit groggy. But I only spoke when I needed to speak. I left huge gaping silences, really long silences. So this fella had to fill them. I'm sorry you think that we're prying. We just wanted to know what was going on. There you go, doing it again. There you go, doing it again. And yeah, okay.
Not his finest hour.
Not his finest hour at all. 0344 499 1000. Terry, Cleo, Simon, stay there. I'm Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Take a trip into the alternate reality of late night radio.
I think I'm in something like The Matrix, and so are you.
The Late Night Alternative.
Hello.
With Iain Lee.
Is there anybody out there?
On Talk Radio.
Hello.
Right, let's go to Terry. Good evening, Terry.
Hi, Ian.
Hey, Terry. How you doing, man? What you got for us?
Noises in songs that you're not supposed to hear.
Yes. Have you fallen down a well?
No. I've phoned you before, and it sounds like I fell down a well.
What is
I don't
going
know what
on?
it is.
What is? You're not on speakerphone, are you? You wouldn't be that crass.
No.
No,
it's I work in a steel firm. I don't know if that's belongs to the weight there.
Okay, maybe that's it. I didn't hear what you said, but I'm guessing maybe that's it. All right, go on then.
Yeah, you're playing as there.
Yeah. Well.
Rod Stewart, Ain't Love a Bitch.
Well.
108. 1 minute 8 seconds.
Yeah. What does he do?
He coughs.
Oh.
Loudly.
He was probably having he was probably slugged it down with a shot of whiskey or something.
Well, all I can say, for once, I think they've actually kept it, even though they've digitised most of the music. I reckon they've kept that in.
Oh, good. This is what they should do because quite often they'll remaster stuff and they'll get rid of all the imperfections. It's like, no, I want that stuff.
I bought nearly every one of his records on vinyl, and the original versions, I've got them all. But I've since bought a CD because I've nothing to play vinyl on. So,
and have they got rid of all his coughs?
Sorry?
Have they got rid of all his coughs?
Not in that one, I don't think.
Okay, good.
That's probably the only one. And the other one, again, is a Pacers song.
Yeah.
Pull Richard. That's 4 minutes 16, right at end. Some at breaks, and then they all laugh.
What they should do is Rod Stewart should go back. Next time they remaster Rod Stewart's back catalogue, he should be in there and he should just cough, like, over the top of the record. He should add new coughs to old songs.
I actually think you're absolutely right. I actually think if people, if you make a record like that, there's an imperfection. That's the beauty of the record, isn't it?
Of course it is.
And all this, it's like changing history, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Record it on tape and, put it... Because everything that's done digitally... whenever you record something digitally, it's... And I don't understand this, but it's converted to ones and zeros, so it's not recording sound. Someone can explain this better than me. But if you've got a modern digital recorder, it's not actually recording sound. It's recording ones and zeros. It converts it to binary. How is that even possible?
I have no idea. All I know is I've still kept all my vinyl, but I've not to play them on.
Mate.
But I think you just like to get them out and look at them.
No, they're beautiful. They're works of art. Here's my top tip for you, Terry. Go and buy yourself a decent record player.
Yeah.
Go and spend 150 quid minimum. Don't get one of these cheapo plastic ones, these Crosleys or anything like that. I've got a Crosley for the kids, and it's great for that. But if you want it to sound, half decent, go and spend at least 150 quid on a decent record player. And you get a second-hand one on eBay. Buy a new needle for it, mate. It'll sound incredible.
Only thing I'll say to you though is most of them records I played them on a dance set. Do you remember old dance sets?
Yeah, I've got one. Me and Kath have got dance sets. We went through a thing about 3 years ago. We both spent a fortune on dance sets, and they're wonderful.
Yeah. And you got one that holds 8 records.
Yeah, you stack it up, and by the time it gets to the 8th, the whole turntable's weighed down, so it goes a bit slower.
Yeah, or it drops about 3 records.
Yeah.
It plays third one, you know?
It's brilliant. I got mine out at Christmas, and the kids were taking it in turns to put records on, and it became a thing.
Well, I don't want to take too much of your time up, but I learned all my music I've just learned from my mother, my father, my older sisters. I've had to listen to all their music, and then eventually got to my music.
Well, so, this is how it works. Is I grew up, listening to Neil Diamond and Dr. Hook, and I hated them as a kid, and now I'm 44.
Yeah,
I love Neil Diamond and Dr. Hook, and that's that's it.
You might not believe this, but since you've been certain songs you've been playing on your program, whatever.
Yeah,
I quite like them. I like Little Jackie.
Yeah, you got to love Imani.
Hollow Hand. And I'd never really heard of them. I mean, I'm 50-odd year old. I'm an old fart. Yeah, well. But, but I'm beginning to appreciate some of my dad's died now, but some of my father's music,
Yeah.
I mean, he used to you'll laugh, but he used to like Slim Whitman.
Hey, I'll remember you.
Yeah. He used to go out, have a skinful, come home, and then he plays music, and all we had was tone and volume.
Yeah, that was it.
And he used to play in full blast, and we all used to put it. I was same as you, thinking, God, never playing these no more, breaking me off. Now I've actually gone out and bought CDs.
There you go, mate. Yeah, nothing wrong with a little bit of Slim. Terry, thanks for the call, mate.
All right, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Go and buy a record player. You will not regret it. Well, unless you buy a crap one, and then then you might regret it. Simon!
Yo,
Simon. I'm very, very sweaty.
And I can see it.
It's pouring off me tonight. I think it's because I've had 2 cups of tea. That might be it. And also because the air conditioning in this bloody studio doesn't work.
Why don't you bottle it and put it on eBay?
I don't think you're allowed to sell bodily fluids on eBay anymore. You used to be able to, but you're not allowed. You're not allowed to do it anymore. I don't think.
Let me body parts. I think you can sell fluids.
No, you can't. No, seriously, you can't. I'm just checking. No. I'm going to just.
Well, they spoil all the fun.
What?
Sorry?
They spoil all the fun, don't they?
They do. Spunk, lube, hybrid, water-based silicone lubricant, anal, vaginal. Wowzers.
Thank you guys for your advice last night.
What did we say? I can't remember.
About Twitter.
You got the cab company.
Yeah. I've got an extra 11 followers today as a result of that. So that's good. So thank you for that. Where's Alan Caddick? Haven't heard him for a couple of days. Is he all right?
Yeah, no, he's called in. What I like to do, Simon, is to mix the voices around a bit, even if it makes my job a bit harder. And Alan, I think, called in at the start of yesterday's show and today's show, and I've asked Sam to say, thank you, Alan, give us a call tomorrow. Alan, if he calls in tomorrow, he'll get on, as will Jonathan. But sometimes if people are calling a lot, nothing against them, I just like to mix the voices up a little bit.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just a bit worried about him. And Jonathan got a complete dressing down from Mr. Whale earlier on, which was absolutely epic.
You'll get short shrift from... but I keep making the mistake of when I meet new people, as I did today, and they say, so tell us about your radio show. I always say, well, we have a mixture of callers. I know the first caller I always point out is Racist Jonathan. And I'm starting to think maybe that's not the best advert for the show, pointing out... I go, but he's not always racist. Recently he's been obsessed with Japanese wrestling. So, I don't know. I don't know if me mentioning him to strangers is the best advert for the show.
I think there's definitely something wrong with that guy, but anyway.
Yeah, no, there could be.
Can I just regale you with a brief tale of cats?
Yeah, go on.
So I'm going to entitle this Cats and Cretins.
Yes.
I've had cats for about 15 years. Now, the people... I live in an upstairs flat, and I've got a flat underneath me. The people that live underneath me are... Well, I wouldn't pee on them if they were on fire, to tell you the truth.
I honestly don't think... I mean, it depends how big the fire is. I don't think my stream of urine would put a fire out if that's what it's meant to do. If it was meant to humiliate them further, then I don't think I would pee on anybody who was on fire. They're suffering enough for me to then urinate on them, and it would be like in their ear or their eye. That's just double humiliation.
No, you should be wrapping them in something and smothering the flames.
Yeah.
Urine's not going to help.
Yeah. And also, if you... and just for a second, if the phrase is, I wouldn't pee on them if they were on fire, is because you're saying, I wouldn't put out the fire, right? You'd want them to burn to death and die. Well, here's the thing for your enemies. If they burn for a bit and you smother them, they are going to be in pain for the rest of their lives. So you've got to weigh up... How much? You got to weigh up. I don't understand that phrase. Is what I'm trying to say.
But I can tell you something. This has all gone very macabre.
Yeah, very macabre.
Yeah, let's just say I don't hate many people as much as I hate those two.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because, or one of the reasons for that is because I lost a couple of cats to them not being able to keep their bloody hands to themselves.
Sorry?
And not feeding and encouraging my cats to go into their abode.
Hang on, are you saying they stole your cats?
Well, they didn't... I can't say steal. Obviously, cats will go to anywhere where they get a good deal, won't they?
Well, do your cats live in their house, their place now?
They do now. Yes, they do now.
Well, they've stolen your cats, and I would go down there and I'd knock on the door and say, "Excuse me, I'm having them. You feed them again, and I will feed you a knuckle sandwich. You carries on after that, I'm getting the old bill round here.
You see, the thing is, I don't like conflict, and especially if it's around me, i.e. where I live. So I'm actively avoiding...
I get that. I understand that.
I just got another retweet.
There we go.
So it's a case of... I know now I've dealt with things wrongly because it's worked to my detriment, but it's always been a case of me of, laugh it off and not really sort of make an issue.
But the thing with Mike, if it was my cat, it'll be the same as if they'd entice my boys round there with sweets. I go in and say, right, you're not having them, kids. They're mine. They've lived with me for ages. They got my they've been chipped. I'm confusing cats with kids now, but it'll be the same if it was Velvet. But I understand you don't like conflict, of course.
So anyway,
Can you not give them better food and see how they like them apples?
Well, it all happened. It all happened quite a long time ago. I mean, they're knocking on now, these cats, and it's not going to change. But it's more the principle of the thing. I mean, there's been a lot of other incidents over the years that that's not why I phoned in.
No.
Now, the thing that really sticks to my mind, or the thing that really irks me and really does bug me, I had another cat who was a very wayward, outdoory type cat. So she would come home when she felt like it, and I knew that was just her way, and she'd go off for days at a time. She'd always come home, etc., etc. Well, she would always try and get into their flat because obviously, and I've got a suspicion, and the suspicion is, and it is only a suspicion, but one of the two people are quite heavily into using certain drugs.
Okay.
And I was wondering
if they using catnip?
They are smoking catnip.
Wow.
But I was wondering if that was part of the allure. I don't know. But anyway, so this cat would go off for days at a time, but she would always be trying to get into their flat. And they would wake up, because they've got a cat flat because of the other two cats, they would wake up middle of the night and they'd find my other cat in there and they'd shoo her out and everything else.
Yeah.
Now, I got a knock on the door one day and they said, you better come and have a look at... Now, the cat's name was Leapy.
Yes.
Don't ask me why. She just got christened Leapy.
Yeah.
So the thing downstairs would refer to her as Lee.
What?
Right?
Yes.
So I get a knock on the door. You better come and have a look at Lee. There's something wrong with her. And she's in my flat. So I goes in there. There's my cat, quite clearly unwell, and I made a decision to take the cat to the vet.
Yeah.
So because I was working the next day, they said, all right, look, well, we're about tomorrow. We'll take it to the vet if you want, if it means you ain't got to take a day off work. And I sort of begrudgingly said, okay.
Yes.
So off they went to the vet. Anyway, it came back. This cat had a massive tumour.
Uh-oh.
And the upshot of it was that there was only going to be one outcome, and that was goodbye. So they said, well, look, we don't mind taking the ball. Now, admittedly, it's partly my fault. I should have stepped in and stopped it happening, but I didn't. So they said, we don't mind taking her down to the vet to do the deed, and, it means you don't have to do that and all this, and we're quite happy to do that. So I thought about it and said, yeah, okay, you got my blessing that needs to be done. So they did it. Well, they got the ashes back a week or two later, and on the lid of the box was the word Lee.
Dude, I know you hate confrontation, but the only way you either have to suck it up and accept that they're cat thieves and the cat renamers and all of that stuff, or you've got to choose discomfort over resentment and speak to them and say, guys, stop stealing my cats.
It's the principle of it. The cat's name was not Lee. Regardless, you could call a cat whatever you want. But that line had kind of been crossed, ages ago. Yeah, I know.
It was Lee, you know, because they owned your cat. They stole your cat. And it's horrendous, man. It's horrendous. And I get what you mean. Of course, no one likes conflict. And I've had conflict with people I live next door to, and it really, you know, it's really toxic, and it's really unpleasant. But so you either have to accept that that's what they do, and that's, you know, your cats go and live there, or you've kind of got to knock it on the head.
I just kind of find it a bit bizarre that some people do the things they do. They don't seem to sort of understand basic rules of life.
Well,
you know, I mean,
but some people need the rules of life pointed out to them because they didn't learn it when they were younger. And particularly if they're stoned all the time, sometimes those rules of life can, for some people, get a little bit hazy. And if you know, and if your cat moves in with them, and you don't go and say, "Can I have my cat? And could you just stop feeding it, please? Otherwise, I'm going to, you know, go to the police or something." If you don't lay that boundary down, then they'll think that it's acceptable to do that.
They'll think you're not bothered.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And yet, secretly, I mean, you think, all right, it's going on a bit now. I mean, it bugs me. It does bug me now, but back then I was in bits. But
here's the thing. Here's the only thing you can do, and this is what I would do if I was in your situation. And this is my honest thing, and all I can do is share my truth. Is I would now move at least 20 miles away from them, and start again, and never. I would move because I couldn't, you know.
There's still other stuff as well, but I mean, this is part
and before you move, on the day you move, push a shit through their letterbox.
I was definitely thinking of something.
Simon, thank you very much indeed. I would recommend you do that. If any conflict with neighbours, the best solution I've found is move, and on the day you move, push someone else's faecal matter through the window, or if the window is open, or through the letterbox. Make sure it's someone else's, because DNA techniques these days are incredible. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Neon lit night talk for torch singers, trolley dollies, and train wrecks like me. You never know just where the conversation will take you.
What I'm going to say sounds ridiculous.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. You can give us a call at anything you want. We've talked about care homes sticking their beak in and asking me what I'm going to be talking to my mum about Saturday lunchtime when I take her out for a coffee. The sheer gall of those absolute loons. We talked about all kinds of stuff. You know the school guys. You can phone in about absolutely anything you want. Some guy keeps asking me on Twitter. He's asked me about 5 times. Do you still let people call in about mental health? People can call in about anything. People can call in about absolutely anything. That's the thrust of this show, and maybe I need to make it a little bit clearer. There are no. If you want to call in about Trump, if you want to call in about Brexit, then you can do. I would request that you have something new and unusual, something different to say about it.
Can I make a request as well?
Yes.
If you are going to do that, can it be a conversation rather than a monologue?
Oh.
Because we're a radio station where we will, ask you questions about your views rather than just letting you go off on one.
We've got 3 live shows coming up. 2 of them are sold out. One's in March, sold out. Brighton, sold out. One's in April, London, sold out. April the 1st, 6 o'clock in the evening, 6 till 8. 100 people coming. Don't do it on that day. It's Easter Sunday. Sold out.
Sorry, church.
But the one that hasn't sold out, February... Hang on a minute. Am I working then? Oh, no, I'm not working then, but I'm doing GMTV the next day, so I've got to drive back. Got to drive back straight after to do it. But so Sunday, February the 25th, we're going to be at the Rondo Theatre. Catherine and I will be appearing at the Rondo Theatre in Bath. And then I'm driving straight back to London to be on GMTV in the morning. Guys. But that's the only one that's not sold out. And we're still not sure what we're going to do, because this will basically, we'll have, about by the end of April, we'll have about 4 months' worth of shows left. And I don't know if I want to do any more. I enjoyed Belfast. I enjoyed Luton. I enjoyed Luton. I enjoyed Belfast. I enjoyed Dublin a lot. But I don't know if that's. I don't know if I want to be doing the rabbit hole when I'm 70.
Jeez.
No, I don't know if it's what I don't know if I want to do it anymore. We're going to think about it. I would like to do one in Glasgow. I would like to do one in Edinburgh because we've said about Scotland. But I just don't know. I just don't know what to do with myself. I'm waiting for the next wash of inspiration. That's what I'm waiting for. The next good idea.
Yeah, I'm getting very discouraged easily at the moment, and maybe that's because I am crap. I have to bear that in mind.
What do you mean? Who's getting?
I find myself getting all the nice things that get said wash over, and the odd nasty thing is what embeds.
You've been hanging out with me too long. You've taken on my MO. That means modus operandi. It's Latin for mode of operation. No, which actually doesn't make sense. You've copied my mode of operation.
I've not copied you. Maybe I've just got my independent insecurities.
You've copied me.
Back to you.
You've copied me. Well, you shouldn't. You were funny. Oh,
Anyway, I'm not going to believe it. So
okay, fine.
I need to either sort myself out or make a decision.
Okay, fine. Well, hang on. No, hang on. I'm leaving first. You can't leave before me.
I might have already left.
Oh God. Well, that would be okay. But so anyway, the rabbit hole, if you want to get it, it's on Acast, it's on iTunes, it's your usual podcast providers. And don't forget, and I haven't mentioned this for ages, there's a podcast of this show. We do a daily best of podcast, and I've not really mentioned those for ages, and I should mention them because.
And you can get the whole thing. You can go online to talkradio.co.uk. Yes. We're not going to podcast the whole thing ever, because then there would be no radio show. Because if everyone shifts over to that, then there's no reason for us to be here.
Yes. Yes.
Hello,
Matt.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Matt. What have you got for us?
Well, first of all, I've been listening to your story about the care home. You have my sympathies. I hope that gets resolved.
Thank you, Matt.
Factually.
It will do. I will go out, film a piece with my mum for the one show, and they can go and get knotted. That's it. That's it.
They can F themselves up the AH.
Whoa! I wouldn't go that far, young man.
Well, I think you should.
Okay.
Yeah. So I called last night to complain about Tinder.
Oh, yes.
And today I think I might have met the love of my life on Tinder.
Absolute. I mean, God, from one extreme to the other, it sounds like a stable basis for a relationship.
Yeah. I'm all over the normal stable basis for a stable basis is where I'm at.
So just to recap, yesterday Matt said he'd been mooching around on Tinder, really just to see if anyone fancied him, but he didn't. But you didn't really want to pick up with anyone.
No, and I didn't think anyone would fancy me either because I've got a face like a bag of smashed a-holes.
Who would play you in a film of your life, a realistic one?
Ooh, Jack Black, but with considerable prosthesis.
Oh, where?
Oh, well, around the groin.
Smaller.
Wowzers.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Go on.
Pepperami.
Tell us what happened today then.
So I'm not going to say her name because she almost certainly won't listen because who does? But she's from the north, so I'm cultured.
What?
Hang on a minute. Does she live in the north or does she live near you? Because you had a 30-kilometre radius.
I'm in the north. I'm in Manchester.
Okay.
So yes, it's near to here. Although I am planning on moving out towards the Peak District. Although I lost a flat that I was looking at buying.
All right, mate. I don't want your life story.
I'm just going to flag this up.
As Gary Jacobs would say.
I'm just going to flag this up.
Right.
Peak District.
Right.
Peak District is still the north. So
it is still the north. It's kind of North Midlands.
I'm not interested. I couldn't give a stuff. Get on with this story for crying out loud.
You're racist towards the north.
Yes. Get on with it.
Anyway, I was kind of very jaded about the whole thing and thinking that everyone was all the profiles I was seeing was like, what do you things that you like doing? Oh, I like going to the gym and
playing with my cat and stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, can you get a life?
Yep.
Anyway, so I found somebody today who has a very similar sense of humour.
Who is lazy, doesn't go to the gym, and kills cats.
No, it goes to the gym, but I just don't think it's worth mentioning.
Well, how do you know they go to the gym?
Well, they may not. I mean, I do, but I don't talk about it.
You just mentioned it now. You're
he's going on about it.
You're not on my profile.
Contradictions.
Don't, devil's advocate. Well done. Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm getting bored of that. It's just going on forever.
So anyway, he's met someone.
It's just good for him. Well done. But he's got the love of his life. Geez, we need to phone her up and tell her he's a psychopath.
She'll find out.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. Evening, George.
Hi. Can I just say my heart is down like the clappers at the moment. I just wanted to talk about anxiety. It was me who tweeted you.
Oh yeah, go on. You can call it about anything you want, fella. And it's the weirdest thing, phoning up a radio station. I know, and your heart, I'm afraid, will not slow down until this phone call ends. Particularly if you're phoning up to say that you've got anxiety. Well done. You've just done one of the most anxiety-inducing things you can, phoning up a national radio station. But we will get through this together, George. I promise.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been thinking about calling up for days, but haven't really got around to it. I suffer with social anxiety disorder. I got diagnosed with it last week.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know if you have any coping mechanisms and stuff for feeling like that.
For what? Describe a situation that you would hate.
Well, at sixth form at the moment, I fell out with my friendship group, and so I can't really handle going into lessons and stuff anymore, and I really want to get my A-levels done and stuff like that, and just can't really do it.
That's a big one, man. Now, when you say you fell out, is it toxic? Is there kind of anger, or is it just not talking?
It was just because they fell out with someone else, and I thought the same things happened to me, so it's my fault really, but it's I've seen their true colours.
Yeah, well, isn't that interesting? You're doing what I do and going, it's my fault really. When actually, at worst, it'll be 50-50. At worst, that's what it'll be, because it takes two people to split up a friendship, and takes two people to kind of make one work.
It takes two to tango, yeah.
It takes two to tango, George. Don't do any tangoing. It's a terrible dance. So what options are open to you then? If you want to do these A-levels and do well in these A-levels, how are you going to make that work then, if you can't go into class?
At the moment, I'm just currently thinking there's not a way out of it. I mean, I know there is, but it's just I'm on a waiting list for CBT therapy, but that's going to take 3 months.
It'll take 3
and
months.
I don't really have that time,
No. Well, here's my suggestion. Move house and put a poo through their letterbox. That was what I would do. No. It's a tough one, man. All right, the practical thing that works for me is meditation, okay? Meditation is I've done it for ages, but when I was in the jungle, and it was a toxic environment, man. It was which I imagine is what your classroom could be like. I don't know, but it was a toxic environment, and I would have to sit within very close proximity of people who I knew disliked me intently. And one of the things I did was I meditated. So I don't know if you know how to do it. I would recommend the Headspace app, which you can download for free. And which is brilliant, all right? And so that's a practical thing you can do, where it's not going to cure everything at all, but it makes me feel better. It's made a lot of other people feel better, and it's given me a little bit of clarity sometimes when it comes to dealing with arseholes. Another thing that I do, but I've only kind of developed this in the last few years, and I find it really hard, but maybe if I'd heard about it when I was younger, it would have worked for me, is I pretend that I am the kind of person who is good in those situations. Because some people are good in those situations, right?
Some people make it.
Yeah, well, fake it to make it. A lot of people fake it. And what I do, I did this at the National Television Awards. I did it when I came for the interview for this job. I did it when I had the meeting about possibly going in the jungle. I did it when I was in the jungle a lot. Is I pretend I am someone who is good at being in that environment, whatever that environment is. And it sounds nuts, but it actually helps. It works. It gives me confidence. I can't do it for extended periods. It doesn't work when I go to parties. Still can't do parties.
Yeah.
And in the classroom, would I be right in thinking that the only really awkward bits, the most awkward bits, because they'll be awkward, they'll be really awkward, they'll be the most awkward bits would be going into the classroom and coming out of the classroom. Would that be right? Because during the lesson, you're kind of focused on the lecturer and the books.
Even the smallest things, like where I sit in the classroom, and that is what's making me really anxious. And then, like, once I'm in the lesson and I get in that space, I'm still a bit shaky and a bit heart palpitating, but I can get to it. So, it is the small thing.
Yeah. Okay. What do you? Right, heads up, the CBT, you're not going to get that for months, and I think, am I right that you only get it for 3 months as well on the NHS?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Okay. And I love talking therapies. I think they're brilliant, but I'm really lucky that I can pay for them, and I've not used them on the NHS, and I've heard mixed things. Some people are brilliant, and some people aren't so brilliant. You know, you've got to kind of click. So I wouldn't put all your eggs into that basket, because that ain't going to cure you. That might make things a little bit easier. It ain't going to cure you. Oh, man, it's a tough one. And I'm also painfully aware. I do remember being in my late teens, and there's just so much more different stuff that you've got to contend with when you're 16, 17 than you've got to contend with when you're 44. It's different stuff. I've got to contend with bills and mortgages and giving time to my kids and work. And the stuff that you've got to contend with is completely different, but equally as important and equally as all-consuming, you know. Have you got any friends there that you can talk to?
Well, for me, it's quite lucky because it's only at school that it's actually affecting me. I've got a good group of friends, but I moved house, so I live about an hour and a half away from where I used to. Right. So a lot of it is me being isolated.
Yeah, of course. That's a tough thing at any age, man. I don't have the answer, George. I don't have the answer. I do know that you can do it.
Yeah.
I know you can do it, and I think...
I know I can do it, but there's just that little doubt that overtakes.
Yeah. Meditate. Even if before you go into the classroom, you go and sit in the toilets and you just count your breathing for 20 seconds, it will for me, it just gives me an air... It just slows things down a little bit, and for me... You mentioned the heart palpitations. They've died down a bit now, haven't they, on the phone call?
Yeah, no, they're completely gone.
Boom. So, and this is a really stupid... It's a pre-recorded news, isn't it? It's a bit late. This is a really, a hyper-intense situation. So if in the space of, I think you've been off about 4 minutes, right? If in the space of 4 minutes you can... get your heart rate down, as you have done, and have an intelligent conversation, and there will be loads of people listening who are nodding and going... I'll tell you what they'll also be doing, and this will be interesting, is they'll be going, he doesn't sound nervous, he doesn't sound anxious, and I'm saying that just to highlight the image that we put out, or that people perceive of us... can be really misleading, because you sound confident to me. You don't sound anxious to me. And
well, thank you very much.
Well, no, I'm not saying it as a compliment. I'm saying it as a fact. You don't, right?
Yeah.
And it shows that you can do things that you didn't think you could, and it shows that other people are not able to read your thoughts and your actions as easily as perhaps you think they can, if that makes sense. They're not gonna. Most people won't know that inside you're going, oh my God, I want to die. This is awful. This is awful. This is awful. They won't. They won't. Most people won't know it. I doubt anyone would know it.
Yeah, but it's just when you think that they do.
Yeah, I know, and that's the nuts thing, though. That's the nuts thing. Actually, I think CBT will be really good for you because it's a lot of it is having those circular conversations and you know, someone who's generally very sensible highlighting why those conversations are crazy and why that thinking is not right. You know, is why that thinking is a little bit. They won't say nuts, obviously, because they're not allowed to say nuts. But, but they will highlight inconsistencies in your thinking and help you look at certain issues and problems another way. You can do that. You can do this, man. I know you can do this.
Thank you very much, Ian.
You at school tomorrow?
Well, I haven't been in properly for 2 weeks, but I went in and spoke to a counsellor today.
Oh, well, that's good. All right, well, that's good. My suggestion is you go in tomorrow if you feel up to it, and because 2 weeks is a long time in A-levels.
Yeah, I don't want to fall behind.
No, exactly, man. And if 2 weeks become 3 weeks, then 3 weeks becomes a month, and then you're thinking about writing the whole year off, and that would not be the end of the world. It wouldn't be the end of your life, but it would perhaps not be the best choice you could make.
I know. I've just got to get into that mindset and psych myself up.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what you've got to do. I don't know if psych yourself up is necessarily the right way to go either, because
I think just to get into the situation, really.
Yeah, man. My suggestion: go to school tomorrow, and if you don't like it, come home at lunchtime. But give it a go.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not. I won't think any less of you if you don't. I've got to go because I'm really late for the news.
That's all right. Thank you very much for talking to me.
Hey, nice one, man. Give us a call again. Let us know how it's going.
Will do.
I've been thinking of you, George. Take care, brother. We're really late for the news. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Time it is, so if you gotta go, it's alright. But if you gotta go now, or else you gotta stay all night. I am just a poor boy, baby, trying to connect. But I certainly don't want you thinking that I haven't got any respect. So if you got to go, it's alright. But if you gotta go now, or else you got to stay all night. It ain't that I'm wanting anything you never gave before. It's just that I'll be sleeping soon and it'll be too dark for you to find a door. So if you got to go, it's alright. But if you got to go now, or else you got to stay all night.
I don't get this. I've never seen Glee. I don't know who Puck is.
I used to like it, Glee.
Right, and there's the chap that played him has looks like he's killed himself just a week before he was due to appear in court, charged with having, I believe it's something like 50,000 images of children being abused on his computer. And there's a real mix on Twitter of some people doing the it's such a shame that Puck has died, to other people saying, oh, good riddance to whatever. I mean, the best one I saw was someone saying, I'm not going to comment either way, but I'm just going to, spend a moment sending my thoughts to the family who have suffered twice, as a result of the arrest and these horrific images being found on their son, brother, whatever, cousin's computer, and then the death. And so for the family, it's tough. But even our own showbiz correspondent at Talk Radio, Johnny Seifert, has tweeted, Puck from Glee has sadly passed away. I don't know if it is
Also, it's not Puck. Puck's a character.
Puck is still alive, guys. Puck is still out there doing whatever it was Puck used to do. Puck from Glee has sadly passed away. I mean, I don't know. Oh, I went a bit. Who's last night?
Cosmo and Dibs again.
I thought it was Cilla.
And yeah.
Oh, I'm Cilla Black.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, I'm Cilla Black. Oh, would you like to go on a date to Tenerife? I'm Cilla Black. There we go. 3444 991,000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. Andre.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath.
Are you feeling all right?
Oh, blimey. A little bit less economical with words tonight, Kath.
Well, it's just that, no, I've given you more words. Normally you say, who's that?
No, he's right. You're a little bit less economical with words tonight.
Right,
he's
yeah.
right. He's very wise.
He's throwing about like there's no tomorrow, word-wise.
See, the thing is, there's a few more sentences to the blooming lungful, isn't there? Of oxygen.
Sorry?
There's a few more sentences coming out to the lungful of oxygen.
Anyway, who's that?
Who's that? Who's what?
There we go. Go on, what?
Yes, hello, Andre. Good evening.
I'll answer a question with a question. Sorry, yeah, go on.
Yes.
Hello, Ian.
Yes,
yeah.
Andre. I don't know if you know this, but you're actually live on the radio now.
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you said I was welcome to call in, so I took you up on it.
Okay, no, that's fine. But you're on the radio now. You know that, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So, do you think that this conversation is good enough to be on the radio?
Well, it's not bad, is it?
Well, it's not good, is it?
Well, how many out of 10 would you give it?
3?
Oh, that's generous.
Yeah. I'm in a generous mood.
All right, then. Well, give us 5, then.
Well, no, I'm not that generous. 3 is generous. I mean, really, it's a 1.
5 is decadence.
You wouldn't get Dotton doing this on BBC London. You wouldn't get...
Well, I'm a bit disappointed with the scores here.
Oh,
I was expecting a 9, 9, 9, 5, 9, 8, and I'm saying like that, you know what I mean?
But you haven't even done anything yet.
Well, what do you want me to do? I can't be and do a dance. No one can see it.
Okay.
I can sing.
Well.
Here we go. Can you sing a mournful ballad? Because when you do, there's something that...
I've got one sprung straight to my right. A really dreamy day, so I'll meet you at the cemetery gates. Keep saying Yates on your side.
Stop.
Wow, on mine.
Stop.
Morrissey.
Stop.
Yeah, go on.
Right. Your comic timing is incredible.
Yeah.
Can you not sing along to the record?
I ain't got no song. I ain't got no lappy in here. Or songs or anything.
Lappy.
Me lappy, yeah. Me lappy ain't here.
Lappy. I've never heard anyone refer to it as a lappy. Although I have heard someone refer to a laptop dancing club before.
Really?
Yeah, laptop dancing.
A laptop is a lappy.
Yeah, okay, right, fine.
All right.
Yeah, so you haven't got... Because I think the songs really work from you when you've got the lappy there.
Bit of lappy. Oh, I'll set the lappy up for tomorrow. And yeah, I better go because... and I'll give you a song tomorrow, yeah? Nice talk to you.
It must be, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Good
And you, Kath. See ya.
Good
Bye.
night, caller.
See ya.
Yeah. Wowzers. It's
Didn't actually say anything.
No, that's...
Oh, dear.
Oh, it's going to be a big one. Hang on, I'm going to click my thumb.
Oh.
For one night only, Pie Love You. Lovers can enjoy a 4-course romantic dinner for 2 on Valentine's Day. In Greggs. Yes. The High Street 4-course romantic dinner for 2 on Valentine's Day in Greggs. I'd be up for that.
I would.
I would be totally up for that. In fact, I'm so up for it, I'm wondering if I keep saying it, if Greggs will give me a romantic dinner for 1 on Valentine's Day, just for me. I'd rock up in Greggs. Do it. I'd be suited and
There
booted.
isn't a Greggs near here, is there? Too posh.
Too posh around here. The High Street chain is turning selected bakeries... Oh, this is flipping... This is genius. This is genius. Listen to this. The High Street chain is turning selected bakeries into candlelit restaurants for 1 night only.
One night in heaven.
One night in Greggs. Traditional Greggs favourites, including cheese and onion puff pastry parcels, will be brought to the tables by staff.
No, sausage rolls, all I want.
4 courses, right? You get coffee and Prosecco. Have a guess how much?
20 quid?
Oh, it's 15 quid per person. No, 15 quid per couple.
What?
15 quid. That's incredible. 5 shops in Manchester, Glasgow, London, Newcastle and Cardiff are taking part, with bookings available through Open Table from February the 7th. A spokesperson for the High Street Giant
Sets alarm.
said, for the first time in our history, we wanted to offer the public the opportunity to enjoy their Valentine's Day evening in the comfort of their local Greggs. Yes. They added, whether they are on a first date or have been married for 30 years, we guarantee it will be a night to remember. Here we go. This is going to be this would be the horniest night of all, right? If you were on Tinder and you had a table booked and you got a Tinder sex partner and you said we're doing this in style, and you met them at Greggs, you had a 4-course meal, and then you went back to a Premier Inn
for another sausage roll.
Exactly. And by that she means the sausage would be the penis and the roll would be sex. Here's the menu. Here's the menu. Starter canapes, including seasoned pork and puff pastry slider.
Oh.
And steak and blue cheese en croûte.
That just means in pastry.
I think we're going to hear the phrase puff pastry quite a lot.
You're going to get a lot of beige.
Main. Greggs puff pastry parcels with oven-roasted spiced potato slices.
Again,
chips.
beige.
Yeah. Dessert. Here we go. Dessert. They've just...
Let me guess.
Go on. Is beiger than what you're thinking?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, it can't be ice cream.
It's genius what they've done. Right.
Go on.
A brochette of miniature donuts. Oh, my God. You get beiger. Paired with a rich butterscotch sauce. God, how can we make this beige? It's not beige enough. Butterscotch. Boom. And then petit fours and coffee. Don't know what that means.
Means little beige things.
Right. Belgian dark chocolate brownie, raspberry and almond bite, and caramel shortbread. To drink Italian Prosecco, soft drinks, still or sparkling mineral water. 15 quid a cup. That's all right. And it'll be a laugh. And I bet, you know what? I bet you'd have a really good night there. I bet you'd have a cracking night in Greg's. Did they say it was candlelit as well? They did, didn't they? Oh, I bet that's brilliant. They are geniuses. They are absolutely... Greg is a genius.
I love Greg.
Whoever he may be. The switchboard is empty. We've got another 40 minutes to go. If you want to call in and play, you can. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Evening, Paul.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, Paul. Thank you. What have you got for us?
I've just got some good news for you and Kath. There is a Greg's not far from where you are.
Is there? Whereabouts?
Lower Marsh. Do you know Lower Marsh?
Yeah, I do. That's near the studio, the TV studios.
No, come out of Talksport.
Yeah.
Turn right onto the cut. You know where the Young Vic is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go straight across the road there as if though you're going into the Waterloo station and carry on straight, and there's a Greg's in the market there.
I know exactly where it is. I drive past it every night.
Now, all we need is for it to be one of the participating stores, and we're going to have the night of our lives.
It better be.
Earl's Court, there's a 24-hour one as well, opposite the station.
It is so wrong, but it's so right, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, the sausage rolls are nasty, but they're amazing.
They're the best.
They're incredible. I would enjoy it if someone, if I were courting and someone said, we're going to, I've booked you a table at a restaurant and you've got to dress up smart, and I did, and I rocked up and it was Greg's. I'd love it. I think that was a great call.
I'll tell you a funny story. A pal of mine, we was out years ago, and he met a bird, and he told her he had a two-seater Merc.
Yeah.
So she was like, she's telling all her mates she's going to pick me up in his two-seater Merc. And he picked her up in his two-seater Merc, but it was a van.
Hey, that'll do it.
And what did she think?
Oh, it never. The second date didn't happen, should we say.
Well, do you know what? I think it sorts the wheat from the chaff, doesn't it, that kind of thing? You find out whether or not they're a keeper or not.
It didn't help either, because when they was in the pub, the England match was on, and he was looking over her shoulder watching the game.
All right, well, I'm sorry. I've got a sense of humour, but I won't put up with that.
Paul, listen, thank you very much for that. I've just been sent some shocking news, OK? This is from the Mail Online. This is seriously shocking, right? Mail Online from March of last year. Son of Greg's bakery founder, 75, their last name is Greg, is jailed for 13 and a half years.
No.
For indecently assaulting young lads.
Oy.
Of course, that doesn't in any way have any impact on the fact I'm still going to go to Greg's, but just goes to show. But their last name is Greg. Colin Gregg, 75, formerly respected head teacher of private school. But I bet Greg's isn't even owned by Greg's anymore, is it? I bet Greg, who is the son of the famous baker John Gregg. John Gregg, what a guy. I just want to find out if Greg's is owned by Greg's.
Let me wiki him.
Oh, we don't. We just don't know, guys. We just don't know. But that's a sad end to that story. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome. I tell you what we'll do for the last 35 minutes. We'll take calls straight to air. We'll do that, and we'll just sit back and relax. And let's just wait and see if anyone calls in, shall we? Shall we?
Yeah.
I've got nothing.
I've just read something that's changed. Well, I mean, it's rocked my world.
Go on, what?
Greg's opened their first drive-through in June last year.
Yeah.
Guess where?
Luton.
Where was I introduced to Greg's?
I don't know.
Being pushed round the precinct at Salford.
Yes.
With a Greg's dubby in my mouth in a pushchair. Salford, Greater Manchester, Earlham Gateway service station. You can get a drive-through. You don't even have to stretch your legs to get that.
We've talked about the drive-through before.
Oh my God!
I mean, some of the best. This is what makes Britain great. Is why I voted Brexit. so we can get back our sovereignty and we can have more drive-through Greggs, the drive-through Chippy that we mentioned the other day. I mean, my thing was when I saw they'd invented drive-through Starbucks and things. It was like, what the heck? There's a drive-through Costa on the North Circular. I'll tell you this. Drive-through Starbucks on the one of the M's.
It saves you burning up all those precious calories.
Doesn't it just? Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Line 1.
Hello, it's Rob here.
Hello, Rob here.
Hello, I tweeted you earlier about the through the keyhole key.
Oh, right. So, we were talking about tat that you've got from celebrities yesterday, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And this Rob has got a very, very precious metals indeed. Rob, would you like to tell the listeners what it is you've got?
Well, I co-own Joe Guest through the keyhole key.
Joe Guest model. And through the, I spent a wonderful evening in the company of Joe Guest many, many years ago, and she invited me back to hers for a nightcap, and I bottled it.
And he only mentions it every time.
Yeah, well,
her
no,
name
it was
comes up.
because she's you know was a very important woman for a lot of men growing up. She got very poorly, didn't she, Joe Guest?
Yes, that's why she had to sell her key to her.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. She got very, very poorly, and and when you got to start selling knickknacks like that, it's thing. All right, well, you say you co-own it. How much did Joe Guest's Through the Keyhole key cost?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think it was about must have been about a couple of £100.
Wow, flipping it, man! You went for it.
Yeah, I went. I co-own it with my brother.
Yeah,
I do.
Well, where does it live then? Where does this Through the Keyhole? Where does Joe Guest's Through the Keyhole key live?
It lives on the bookcase in my flat. It does.
Okay, so but what do you live with your brother?
No. I don't live with my brother, but he regularly visits me.
He
But
comes to.
I
Well, is he visiting you, Rob, or is he visiting the key?
a bit of both.
Yeah.
But I'm a long-time listener to yours from the LBC days.
Oh, nice one. Did we ever speak at LBC?
Yeah, I was your correspondent.
Well, correspondent for what? Don't just say correspondent, Sunshine. What were you the correspondent for?
TV Times in human form.
Oh, I remember you.
Yeah,
I remember you. Yes, the old fruitcake. Well, Rob, thanks for letting us about Joe Guests. Thanks for letting us know about her key.
Okay, thank
Cheers,
you.
mate.
Bye.
Ta-ta. I think she was such a lovely girl, Joe Guest, and it's terrible. She's got this illness, and I don't think for ages they couldn't diagnose it. And I think it made her. If I've got this right, it was like ME kind of symptoms, lethargic and unable to move, and I think it was painful, and she couldn't work, and obviously she ended up selling stuff like that, which is a shame. I wonder what she's up to now. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath.
Hello.
How are we?
All right, who's that?
It's Simon.
What you got for us, Simon?
JL last night, just going back 24 hours.
Yes.
You missed one of your best. You missed one of your best mates from the jungle.
Dennis White. No. Shappy. No, I can't think of anyone from the jungle who began with JL.
Jamie Lomas?
No, we were talking about celebrities. I'm joking! Oh. You're absolutely right. Of course, Jamie will be at the top of that list. He's a fine figure of a man and a wonderful actor. Of course, Jamie will be at the top of that list. Thank you, Simon.
Ian, your name has been mentioned today in a forum. Emma Willis is not very well. She presented Big Brother tonight with a very bad sore throat.
Yeah, she's got croaky. We watched that. She's got croaky throat.
You could see it the moment it went.
It's because she's standing outside and she'll have to do a lot of shouting out there, and it's going. So, unfortunately,
and one of the forum I read was who's going to replace her for the final Friday. Your name came up a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Would you love to welcome her?
I go on these forums and post my own name in the hope that a producer will be looking and will give me work. It ain't going to be me, unfortunately, Simon. I suspect I'll be honest, I'm a little bit... because I did Big Brother shows for years, like as a guest and then as a presenter and then as like a regular guest and they let me go maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm a little disappointed they've not asked me on as a guest again to do one of the little, not doing a regular thing, but just to go on, once or twice during the series. I'm a little bit disappointed that they've not done that, if I'm honest.
I think the bit on the side program's a bit of a mess, to be honest. This series, it's I think it always has been a bit, though, isn't it? It's a bit sort of.
It's a bit of a car crash, but then that was why I enjoyed doing the spin-off show, because I liked the fact that it was a car crash and it was a bit of a freak show, and it could kick off sometimes.
Yeah. Talking of spin-off shows, every year they change who's presenting I'm a Celebrity Jungle extra bit.
Yeah.
You've got to be up for it next year. You've got a bit of a chance.
Oh, no, it'll be tough next year, wouldn't it? It'll be, Joe Swash will stay.
Scarlett's brilliant. I imagine it'll be Scarlett.
It might be the same people.
I reckon it'll be Scarlett and Toff.
Joel.
Well, I wonder if Joel... I don't know. Joel sounds like he's very, very busy. I don't know. I reckon they'll have Toff on there, definitely. I imagine they'll ask me out there, to go and do a week of shows, which I've done before. They might ask me to do that, and we'd see, because it's a long way to go for just a week, and it would mean not doing this, and I don't know. We'll see.
I thought Joel was a brilliant guest when you had him in the other week.
He's great, isn't he?
Any chance of when you're off on holiday for a week, he'd come and do your show?
Get out of here. Not having that. What is this about? Not having that. That guy's obsessed with people. That guy's obsessed with other people doing other people's jobs.
He's a stirrer.
Isn't he? We'll take calls straight to air for the last half hour of the show. 0344 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. Kind of. Is it, what day is it today? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. I've been thinking it's like Wednesday or Thursday. It feels later in the week than it actually is. So we'll take calls straight to it. See how we get on. Let's go to line 3. Line 3, you're on the wireless.
Hello, good morning, Iain. Good morning, Kath. I'd just like to be the first one to wish everybody a happy Easter. Happy Easter.
What are you talking about, man? That's not... It's just hung up. What an absolute...
We don't accept your happy Easter.
No. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
How you doing? How you doing, guys?
Doing very, very well.
I've got a song for you.
Yes.
I Want Candy. John Candy. I thought he was coming on.
John Candy, unfortunately, has had to be postponed. It was going to be The Talking Dead, and we were going to have John Candy on this evening, and I'm afraid to say that due to severe traffic on the spiritual elevator highway, that he is unable to come on this week. But he'll be on soon.
Yeah.
That is a promise. I promise you we're going to get John Candy on this show. That is happening.
What about Bang tomorrow?
Yeah, OK. Thanks so much for calling and pointing out inconsistencies. Ah, man alive. So there's this moon.
Oh, the bloody moon.
Hey, what's your language?
What's it called?
Poor old Nick knows. Tearful Nick heads home to sort mess. It's called life, Nick. It's a really strange story. It's a Nick, who's currently in America doing charity work.
Is he?
That's what it says in there. So... You will only see it once in a blue moon. Oh, gee. There will be an unusual sight in the sky tomorrow night. The first blue moon for 2.5 years. So, quite recent then. The spectacle is classed as... Right. Okay. But do you know what... Right. A blue moon... Do you know what a blue moon is?
No.
So it's nothing special. It's the second full moon in a calendar month.
Oh.
That's all it is.
Oh.
That is all it is.
Why
It
blue?
ain't nothing special. It'll go back to something historical. But this one will also be a supermoon, appearing about 14% bigger and 30% brighter as it reaches its closest point to Earth. Dr. Gregory Brown of the Royal... Because everyone's getting their knickers in a twist about this moon. It's a super moon, blue moon. Right, so blue moon is just the second full moon in a calendar month. Okay. So what? What is special about that?
And the last one was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah. Dr. Gregory Brown of the Royal Observatory, Greenwich, said it will be high in the sky from about 7 p.m. and will be at its highest and thus best around 12:40. It'll be, well, literally 24 hours and 5 minutes. There is also set to be an amazing total lunar eclipse, but experts say it will not be visible from the UK.
Oh, well, I hope everyone else enjoys that.
What a load of old... Everyone's getting a... You wait, tomorrow it's going to be full of guests talking about super blue moons.
Yeah. I mean, like we're the sort of people who go and stand in fields and point at planes. It's just the moon.
Good evening, Line 1, you're on the wireless. EastEnders love theme. Thank you for that, caller. It's a great piece of music. It's a great piece of music, and it's great because it's iconic. Everyone knows it. You can whistle it. Within minutes of being sat at a piano, you can work out how to play it. Everyone goes and plays. It used to be Axel F when I was a kid.
Yes.
But now it's everyone sits at the piano and everyone can go. Oh, it's just this. Da, 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 da. It's just that run of notes.
Whenever
Beautiful.
I've seen EastEnders recently, though, there's been a real shortage of the EastEnders love theme.
Yeah. Well, there's no love in it.
No, it's all kicking off.
Miserable place. But it's a great bit of music, and I would put it up there with. I used to have. I don't think I've got it. It's a great TV thing. It's a great TV thing. You can't argue with the EastEnders theme and the love theme.
It's up there with Coronation Street.
I would say it's better than Coronation Street theme. I would say it's a little bit better because I never liked. Well, partly because the Coronation Street theme when I was a kid meant bed. So I've got that association. That's what it is. It means bed, and I don't that old timey Hovis.
The brass
band thing, yeah.
You know why, though?
It's very melancholy.
Yeah.
Makes me sad. Makes me sad.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it does. It does. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hi, mate. It's Jamie.
Hello, Jamie. Hello, Jamie.
Oh, you can hear me now. I found out a couple of nights ago I was talking about Jumanji and the temperance movement and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was just wondering whether you listen to it.
Listen to what?
Temperance movement.
Oh, was it a band?
Yeah.
Oh,
temperance movement.
No, I'm going to listen to it now. What? Right, hang on a minute. We're going to listen to it now. Hang on.
Right.
My
Only Friend. That's it. It's a tune.
Oh, didn't we listen to it? And
I don't know. I don't think so.
Only friend. Right. Okay. No, we did. All right. Here we go. Okay, all right, let's have a listen. Here we go. This is.
Sorry, bro.
Here we go. Hang on. Have a listen. Whoa. I like that. That is a spunky little guitar riff, isn't it?
It's a tune, mate. It's a tune.
This is spunky.
It's in, mate. Isn't it?
Yeah. I've got to say, I like the first 18 seconds. This is putting, Jamie, this is putting a lot of pressure on the vocalist. The vocalist
it's good,
is right.
It's good.
The vocalist is make or break at the moment. If it could go either way, right? Because I like that.
Mate.
You ready?
You will like it.
Let's see. Oh, he's teasing us, isn't he? He's teasing us, the singer.
You like it, mate.
We'll see if we like it, because there's a lot of pressure. I love that. I love the interplay of the guitars.
Yeah.
If the vocalist ain't up to scratch, Jamie, then
you'll love it, mate.
I'm not going to
telling you.
swivel on it. Let's see. On my chair, like the voices. What I was meant to say. Okay, right. He's gone for the. He's gone for the kind of Southern Delta blues.
Told me that he cut himself loose. Mama says he never coming back. He's out there killing the blues, yeah. Told me once, said he never could.
It's a pass from me, Jamie, but thanks for calling.
No, sorry, bro.
No worries, mate. Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. I liked it up until then. Last 15 minutes of the show. Paul Ross is on at 1 o'clock. James Max will be on at 5, but there's still time for you to call up straight to air here. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
I saw a video of Howard Hughes for the first time ever today. Nothing like I imagined.
What did you think he'd look like?
I thought he'd look older.
Mm.
I thought he'd look more serious. He looks like a lot of fun. Now I've seen him, I can't unsee him. He looks like a cool DJ.
He's sort of the sandy hair.
Yeah. He looks like a fun guy, you know. And I love Howard's show. Honestly, Sunday nights are great, right? And I don't think they get the attention they deserve. 7 till 10, you got Bob Mills just chatting to comedians, and it's brilliant. And it's quite geeky. And then 10 o'clock, you got Howard Hughes talking to fruitcakes, and it's wonderful. I love... and I'm normally knackered on a Sunday night, so I tend to fall asleep during Howard's show, but what a great way to drift on. Sometimes his conversations will infiltrate my dreams, which is great. But it looks absolutely nothing like... When I listen to people on the radio, I don't Google them. I don't want to know what they look like, because I want, my imagination to... run riot.
Missed it this weekend because we were in Ireland and we were busy.
We were on stage.
But last weekend it was great. Just as I was drifting off, it kind of kicked off a bit. He had this really... Sometimes he gets these people on for an interview, and they generally Americans that do this.
Yeah.
They get really annoyed when he starts to question them because they've obviously had this hobby horse for a certain amount. Say hobby horse, that's very disrespectful. They've been writing about this stuff for years and years, and they're not used to people questioning or challenging in even the most charming... I mean, because Howard doesn't go in really tough with people very often, does he?
No.
But even the most quiet, gentle prodding from... this guy went nuts. He was like, you obviously haven't read my work.
Oh, this guy was talking out of his arse as well.
Yep.
Line 3, you're on the wireless. Okay. Line 4, you're on the wireless? Yes, hello? Jesus. Emmerdale Farm.
Yep.
Line 5, you're on the wireless?
Brookside.
Okay, right.
Quiet Brookside.
Quiet Brookside. Quiet Brookside. Quiet Brookside. But, sir, I said quiet. over 50,000 views of Joel Dommett reading filth from his teenage diary. It just goes to show, doesn't it? Just goes to show.
That's what appeals.
That's what the kids. That's what the kids want. All the lads are cheering. Get the flipping beers in. Remember that? Oh, I tell you, it is a good one. I like this. This is. There's not enough niceness. Nice. Oh, let's just get this and then we'll take this. It's a nice story. Hello, line 4.
Hello, Ian. It's Dave. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Dave. What you got for us, Dave?
I've been watching a TV programme based on a heinous crime that you were a victim of.
Right, Brookside.
Oh, sorry.
What's going on there?
My headphones fell out of my computer, so
shove your headphones right. So hang on, say that again. You've been watching what?
I've been watching one of these sort of true crime programmes about heinous crime that you were a victim of.
Oh yeah, go on. What?
It's called American Vandal, and it's set up like one of these sort of to catch a murderer type things. It's over 8 series, and the whole premise is that someone has drawn peni on some cars in a school parking lot.
Mate, this is one of the worst experiences of my life.
Knobgate.
Yeah, and we had to bring the show to a halt. We refused to start the show.
I heard it.
Yeah.
The thing is, it felt like some people felt it was self-indulgent, but if it's happening to Ian, odds are it's happening to Joe Bloggs too. And so, you were using your voice, weren't you?
No, I didn't care about Joe Bloggs. I was annoyed that someone had drawn a dick on my polo in the dirt.
Well, there was 27 of them done to these teachers' cars in America.
Yep. But it's
actually a comedy program. It's very
there's nothing funny about that.
Yeah.
No, it's an epidemic.
I like this. This is such a lovely story. More than 35 years on, they are clearly no longer the young ones. It's all been written with a tone now. Everyone's done the tone. Indeed, Nigel Planer and Adrian Edmondson are barely recognisable as the long-haired paranoid hippie Neil and spiky-haired violence-loving punk Vivian they played in the anarchic, groundbreaking BBC sitcom.
Objection.
Yep.
It's not because they're old, it's because they were wearing costumes.
Yep. The pair, I wish I'd seen this, the pair were reunited on stage on Sunday night for the Slapstick Festival at Bristol Old Vic. However, they were not there to celebrate the young ones, a comedy about 4 students sharing a squalid house that ran from 1982 to 1984, and also featured Rick Mail as Rick and Christopher Ryan as Mike. Oh, that sentence... Oh, OK. Although the show propelled them to fame, Edmondson, 61, and Planer, 64, reminisced instead about another project from the 1980s, the spoof heavy metal rock band Bad News. Formed as part of the Comic Strip Presents series on Channel 4, it also starred Mail, who died in 2014, 4 years ago.
Wow, that long.
In it. I bet that's nice. I bet that was a thoroughly enjoyable evening. I loved the young ones. I told you I saw the young ones live when I was 10, and it was the filthiest show ever. My mum bought tickets to the Fulcrum in Slough and said, "Is it all right? Be all right, bring kids." "Oh yeah, it'd be fine, bring kids." And I think we cut the first act was Rick Mail with his willy out. But, B this, S this, F this, and my mum kind of looked at my dad and they went, "We're here now, we might as well stay." And it was great. And also, I've been on the set of the young ones because my dad used to work at BBC, and I remember going there one day. And it's a bit boring, really. I remember you saw the TARDIS, the inside and the out, and you'd walk through the props department, and all the play school toys would be like in a cage. They're in like a props cage, all squashed
for everyone
up.
else's safety.
Yeah, and then would walk through the studios and see what shows were set up. And I was in the young ones' flat. God, I wish I had a picture of that.
The props department, was that like big shed thing?
Sorry.
I went in one once. I got sent to it when I was working on a different show, and it was like had the TARDIS in. It was like a big warehouse.
Well, it was
thing.
at the time. It was a television centre, and it was like the whole. It was just this sort of cavernous, sort of warehouse type thing at the back of the BBC, and there were cages full of props, and you'd walk past and you'd see. Like you would see the play school toys in the cage, and you'd see, some uniforms, not uniforms because that would be in the wardrobe, but you'd see stuff from Grange. You'd see all this stuff there, and my dad was in charge of all of that. You know.
Wow.
I've
been in there.
He got the boot for nicking loads of it as well. If I'm honest, he lost his job. Those were the days. You know, I never forget one day. I wanted a BMX. I wasn't allowed a BMX, but one day he rocked up with a grifter. And he said, right, I'll tell you where this grifter's from. I was 10. I said, but you can't tell anyone. Tell that to a 10-year-old. And basically, it belonged to one of the kids on Grange Hill. It wasn't Roland's. It was anyway. It was, and you watched Grange Hill, and there was my grifter. Of course, I told everybody about it.
Of course, you did.
And the best one, and I've got a picture of it, which I find from time to time, because we lived on this council estate, and we had this lock-up garage round the corner. And one day he said to my sister, and I must have been 6 or 7, and she was 9 or 10, and he said, "Come round to the garage. I've got something to show you." I'm like, yeah, whatever. So we got to walk round to the garage, and he opened it up. He had a Dalek in there. He'd nicked a Dalek for the week. And we would sit inside this Dalek, and he would push us around the Britwell estate in Slough in a flipping Dalek. Unbelievable. And then it got taken to the school and was stuff. But how do you steal a Dalek? And he'd nicked it for the week. He took it back, obviously, but he wasn't allowed to borrow a Dalek. He had it. Oh man, I missed that guy. Let's go to line 1. Line 1, you're on the wireless. Hello, line 1. Coronation Street. I got it first. You got to say it first, though.
Oh, I didn't know we were playing.
Of course we were playing. That was old.
That's too easy.
That was old Coronation Street. That was more because now it's a bit more sort of techno, isn't it? Techno's maybe not the right word, but hello, line 2.
End of monkey.
Yeah.
End of monkey.
End of monkey. Gandhara. Okay, right, fine. Line 3, you're on the wireless. Right, EastEnders, but...
Oh, I thought that was my mum locked in a cupboard.
What do your mum and dad get up to?
Well, there's no kids in the house anymore. They can do what they want.
Well, they can do what they want. They can do what they want, and good for them.
I've got a key to their house, but I always knock very, very loudly before I use it.
Well, if they're playing Abbey Road by the Beatles...
Oh, God.
Then you know that they're feeling sexy.
The thing is... They've had kids in the house. You know, they got married at 21. There were kids in the house.
Let them have it off now in peace.
They could do what they want.
Let them do all kinds of things that they never dared do before.
Oh, God, they did. That's the problem.
Oh.
Anyway.
Wowzers. We've got another 4 minutes. As the show slowly kind of winds.
It's very warm in here.
Down. It's boiling in here. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Emmerdale.
Okay. Line... Pit practice? I'm going to say peak practice.
I don't know, Freshfields.
Do you remember Freshfields went to France and became Frenchfields?
Well, I had to.
Anton Rogers and Julia Mackenzie. Hey, there we go. There we go. My sister's... I'm younger than 6. Look at the look of content. My sister's just tweeted it. I'll tweet that again. Thank you, Joe. I've got that original somewhere. Look at that.
Are you being impaled by that, darling?
It looks like it, doesn't it? If you click on that picture, look at the size of my flares. Look at that. Oh, I love that picture. God, I look like my eldest there.
You do.
I remember that top as well.
I've
got to be 5 there, so Joe would be 8. And the look of contempt she's giving me, and that's Emma she's holding there. I think the dolly was called Emma. That's a great picture. That is a great picture. I love that. Let's go to line 6. You're on the wireless. Yeah, if he wants to come in. Paul's welcome to come if he wants to. British.
No.
British.
What's that? That's not Take the High Road, is it?
It's the Horse Vessel song, is it, from 1932? I don't know what that is.
What is the theme tune?
It's not Family at War, is it?
Paul Ross, this is the only time I've ever seen you stumped with a bit of TV...
Triv.
Yeah. What's going on? It's these late nights, they're getting to you.
They get to me already, yes.
Let's go one more.
What is that? It's one of those East European kind of children's things, is it?
That might be Tenko. I don't know.
No, surely not.
What's on your show tonight, Paul?
We
Ross?
have an amazing boffin on tonight.
Yeah,
I've
go
done
on.
the intro already. Tonight is the night in America, Australia of the super blood blue moon.
So what is this? Because we've just been reading about that, and everyone's got a little.
It's a melon twister in America, as I understand it. And you can hear the interview in the next half hour or so.
Yeah.
There's a lunar eclipse, so the Earth's shadow is on the moon,
right?
And it's closer in its slightly elliptical orbit, and it's a kind of blue moon because it's very full as well. So it's all three.
But we're not getting the eclipse here, are
No,
we?
we're getting 2 out of 3 ain't bad like meatloaf. We're getting the blue blood moon. We're not getting the super blue blood moon.
Right.
And what's great is in America, it's not been seen since the American Civil War.
OK, now that's more exciting because the moon that we're getting, I was just reading about it and it said, and this hasn't happened in the UK for 2.5 years. Well, that's kind of hard.
Yeah, but once in a blue moon means twice a month.
No, hang on, when was the American Civil War? 1776 was War of Independence.
1866,
Okay.
this was happened. So, and the Battle of Gettysburg was 1865. So it was when the American Civil War was on, and it was widely regarded at the time, particularly in the South, as marking the end of days.
Wow.
They thought, that's it. There's going to be no movies, no TV, no radio. This is it. Because we've had fights to keep slavery, the end of the world is nigh.
We've got literally 50 seconds, but Kath told me a thing the other day that, cowboys in India, cowboys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right, the Wild West.
The Wild West. That was only like 20 years that existed.
Yeah, and the whole thing of the Pony Express, of course, as soon as the railway turned up, the telegraph.
Yeah.
But it cast such a shadow over the whole of the globe when you think about the impact of it.
Yeah.
Because they used to say, didn't they, no law west of the Rockies, no God west of the Pecos. Because they simply didn't know it was there. There was a theory at one time that it went all the way across the Pacific to China. There was a land bridge. Can you imagine that? They just didn't know.
Paul Ross is on. I always get confused. It's like Monday to Friday, but it's Sunday.
It's very early as a Monday morning.
Monday.
The early as, I get confused. I woke up this morning and thought it was Thursday.
Man alive, tell me about it. He's on after the news. James Max will be on at 5 o'clock. We shall be back tonight at 10, dear listener. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Sam. Don't forget to download the podcasts and all of that nonsense. Until then, from us, ta-ta!